Facebook, what's going on? Facebook, YouTube. Facebook, what's going on, man? We live. Man, I just barely made it, man. I was around the house, kind of doing a little something, putting some stuff together. You know how we do what we do. We want to welcome y'all to the Speak on the podcast. Excuse me, I'm looking a little rough. It's been a long day for me, man. And the show must go on, man, and we gonna make that happen. Man, tonight, man, we got some things we're gonna deal with. We're gonna deal with pretty girl privilege tonight. And why you asking the question? If you so pretty, you know you pretty, but why you single? See, we're gonna ask that question tonight. So we're gonna get into it, man. Tonight, man, I want to start with the news, man. Tonight we're gonna start with the news, and it's some unfortunate event that happened tonight, man. Oh no, that happened recently, and it dealt with a shooting in Lansing, Michigan, I believe at the University of Michigan, man, and it's on the AP string, dealing with this particular event that happened. It was a gunman. It's a mass shooting. They said from this point on, man, from the beginning of the year, it's been 39 mass shootings in 2023. 39 mass shootings in 2023. That's sad, man, that people have become so unstable that they're going out in the world, and they being affected by what's happening, man, in the world, man. We're gonna look at this, man. It says Michigan State University gunman note had a possible motive. East Lansing, Michigan, the man who shot 8 students at Michigan State University, killing 3, were found with 2 handguns in a note containing a possible motive for the attack. Police said Thursday the 9mm guns, dozens of rounds of ammunition, and a 2-page note were found in Anthony McRae's when he killed himself Monday night after being confronted by the police, said campus deputy chief Chris Romans. Investigators said they still trying to pin down the motive 3 days after the violence at the 50,000 student campus in East Lansing, Michigan. But the note was a key point. It appears, based on the content of the note, that he felt he was slighted in some way by people or businesses. Rowan said at a news conference, did a mental health issue amplify that, or was it a component of that? Were not sure at the point. They were not sure at the point. We're working on the best to try to determine, was what happened. But what was said was that about the individual is that um, he had issues before. He was having outbursts before this happened, and individuals they looked over it, and it seemed like there's been a apparent pattern of individuals that's become mass shooters or gunmen, and people are looking over it. But I'm still, as a black man, going through on the train system, and people still looking and staring at me, thinking that I'm gonna do something when we haven't committed any mass shootings. So even in the midst of that, with 39 mass shootings, me as a black man, I still have to watch. I'm still being looked at as an individual because of the color of my skin. But they couldn't detect an individual that had that had issues that led up to this attack, man. 8 was shot and 3 died in this attack, man. And it's unfortunate. Man, I was looking at a clip of a young man. This young man was about to jump off the bridge. Young man. And it's unfortunate that things like this happen, man. And I want to just to look at this, man, and we can I want to go from there, man, kind of look at this, man, because it's unfortunate that this young man did this, and for him to try to do this, and the officer stopped him. So that was a pretty good thing, man. We probably look at that a little bit later. I got it queued up, but we just gonna move forward. I'm gonna let that go, and we're gonna move forward, man. So also, man, let's go ahead and talk about Rihanna's performance at the Super Bowl halftime. Number one, everybody said it was boring. People didn't like Rihanna's halftime show. Okay, I get it. But we got to look at that she was pregnant, and she accomplished at least 3 things. One was she announced, they were doing the Super Bowl. One was she was expecting her second child with ASAP Rocky. 2, as she's doing as she's going through the show, she get her lip gloss or her makeup, fixed her makeup to advertise the Fenty line. We all know that Rihanna right now is worth 1.7 billion. So as far as her, dealing in marketing and promoting her products, she did that. But that was a good way for her to promote, to make the announcement know that she was pregnant and promote her brand. So that was a good thing. For as far as the performance wasn't as it was lackluster at best. But coming from a performance standpoint, and I've done shows before, I understand, she has a baby and expecting a child, and so that's something that I understand there. So but she did great. I like the setup. Everybody says she was worshiping the devil. We on this debate about Jay-Z worshiping the devil. And superstars, black superstars are worshiping the devils to get to that level of success. They just can't go off their talent. though people that I worked with that knew Jay-Z was hot back then. But he just wasn't on the national stage. But he was that guy back then. And also, just looking at the talent and what's going on in the world today, man. But big ups on Rihanna.
Let me speak on the
ASAP Rocky.
let me speak on the Rihanna. The overall performance to me was dope. It was tight.
Right.
The only thing that I think rubbed her fans and a lot of viewers, the fact that she was pregnant and no one knew, and they were expecting to see her showing skin. They wanted to see those sexy outfits, those thighs, her drop and do the twerk. They wanted a Rihanna performance. And though some people, it's mixed emotions on how she introduced that she was pregnant to the world, that she was expecting again. A lot of people were taken by, that element of shock, surprise, because when they say Rihanna, they thought they was going to see the like Puerto Rican princess. You know what I'm saying? She finna get up there and do her twerking. She finna have them heels on. You finna see thighs. You finna see, breastises everywhere. And then when they seen her with the big clothes on and her moving, that's just something they wasn't used to seeing. But the camouflage of that were the dope dancers, the camera work, the whole stage presence, the energy that was there. He did all the hits. I mean, songs that I forgot she made. You know what I'm saying? So the overall Rihanna performance, once you get past that, she's pregnant, but the people just wasn't expecting that. But the performance was tight. It was kind of a weird way. She's not a Beyonce. She's really not a Janet Jackson per se. They can pull off a baby bump and nobody say anything. They haven't heard from Rihanna in a minute. Only thing we've been hearing about Rihanna is she's with ASAP Rocky and she having babies. You know what I'm saying? That's all we've been hearing, her and ASAP Rocky. He cheated, he did that, she took him back. That's all we've been hearing. Then she came out with that song that's I'm thinking is on a soundtrack or something, but she came out with that slow song or whatever. And so when they say Rihanna finna hit the stage, everybody thought they was finna see, classic Rihanna. So that's why Twitter and all the social media things, performance was boring. They didn't, because they were expecting what they saw in the past. And then this is the cancel generation that we're dealing with. Majority of the cancel generation. So when she didn't perform, they looking for a joke. I'm sure there are memes and everything about it. But yeah, a lot of the 25 and unders for sure was disappointed with the performance. So it's just the cancel generation. But like you said, congratulations on the baby. A kind of different kind of way to let the world know you're expecting on that big stage like that. And like I said, you're not a Janet from back in the day. You're not a Mary. You're not even, you're not a Beyonce. They could have pulled that off. But being that this is your first time hitting the stage in so long, people kind of had mixed feelings on that. But overall performance, because she did almost every hit you can think of, she just didn't twerk and get into the showing that skin. They wanted to see some thighs, man. They wanted to see her in them stilettos. They wanted to see her in that bikini. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? They wanted that back out. You know what I'm saying? So all the guys ran to the TV expecting to see these shoulders, that back, that bikini line, them thighs, them calves, and them stilettos, and they didn't get that. So when Twitter blew up saying it's boring, she wrong for that, they wasn't ready for it. And like I said, you're dealing with the cancel generation. They're not quick to forgive or understand anything. So if you mess up in today's times, they're gonna make a joke about it, and you're gonna be the talk for a day or two. So, but overall, she did a great performance, and congratulations with her and ASAP on the newborn that they're getting ready to try to bring into the world. So
yeah, and the coat he wore was from Andre Leon. He was a fashionista, fashion designer. He died at 73, and it was kind of ombrage on that, so that was a good thing. And also, Pharrell is gonna replace Virgil Abloh as one of the fashion or head one of the designers at Louis Vuitton. So that's a big up for him. But since the show, since the show, Rihanna's performance, her streams increased by 850%.
Oh yeah, the music was great, and that's the purpose of the Super Bowl.
Skyrocketed, and
they don't get paid. That's the thing about the Super Bowl. You don't get paid to do the Super Bowl. It does exactly what you said. It upped their streams. It upped their music. People buy the music. So it did what it do. But people like what they like.
Yeah, but I really just didn't see that.
Right. Because you've been a performer. You're on a more mature scale. You got to look at the reason that I'm so successful is I understand the cancel generation. I understand the older generation. I understand the middle generation, and I understand where they're coming from. Not that I agree, but I understand. If I'm going to a Jazzy Jeff concert, I want to see Jazzy cut it up on the wheels. Let's just say one of his hands messed up and he's not able to mix and go back and forth like I want to see. I'm not going to be as pleased with his performance. But after that concert, his streams go up. They go and buy his first album with, I'm the DJ, he's the rapper. They go buy the stuff. But I came to see him mix behind his back, do the threat, good. And he's not able to do that because his hand messed up. I'm not going to be pleased with the performance. And even though his record sales going up, he even probably made $20 million that night. But me as a downright Jazzy Jeff fan, I couldn't I wouldn't be satisfied. Even at a Prince concert.
I disagree with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
But what I'm saying, as a fan, you're gonna understand that. You people that don't understand, they're gonna be disappointed. But as a fan, I'm gonna understand. Okay, she having a baby. Man, I'm gonna be shocked because I was shocked.
Like I said,
damn, she finna have another baby.
I understand, but that's not what I understand. That Jazzy Jeff hurt his hand in a slight accident, but I wanted to see him get loose on them tables.
But you understand.
I understand.
But why would you be disappointed when you understand that his hand messed up?
Because it's not what I wanted to see. I didn't know his hand was hurt. Listen. Had I known his hand was hurt.
But what I'm saying, you seen him in person. He made his obligation. You saw him in person. He came. He did. I would have been happy just to see him in person.
Yeah, because you are a very appreciative person. So the fact that he showed up, you like, oh man, he's here, and that's good enough.
She didn't count. Oh, I'm pregnant, so I'm gonna cancel the
Super
Bowl.
We understand.
We understand. My hand hurt, so I'm gonna cancel the show because my hand hurt. I hurt my hand.
And to be honest with you,
if you're a fan, I'm gonna understand. Oh, okay, man, he hurt his hand. Come on, bro. Come on, let's roll with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you feel, and you have that right to feel like that. But me being a turntablist, I came to see him cut up so I can get some more ideas, so I can see if he still got it, so I can add to what he's doing. It's kind of like when I went to the Musicology tour with that Prince did. I wanted to hear him do dance, music, sex, romance. I wanted to see him get nasty, but he was going through that transformation. He didn't do none of the songs I wanted to hear. So I enjoyed the concert, but I wanted to hear him do that dance, music, sex, romance. I wanted him to do Let's Work. I wanted him to do Me Baby. He didn't do none of that because it was a Musicology tour. He did some songs from the old album, but it wasn't them freaky sex, satanic songs that I wanted to hear. So I enjoyed the concert, but I wanted him to get nasty, and he didn't get nasty. He did a damn acoustic set. I love the set, but I'm like, come on, man, you ain't gonna do dance music, sex, romance.
But
you ain't gonna do
like,
Do Me, Baby.
You gotta look at the level of Riri talent, bro. Riri, you get past that when you see her performing and her singing. Now they complained about the lip singing. That's what you do when you're performing. All top
not real. A lot of real artists. I've seen Michael Jackson. I've seen Prince. I've seen
in and out of
Dave Hollister.
But when you're in and out of sets and you're dancing and you're doing that, you're in and out of sets. You go.
Janet Jackson don't lip sync.
You have to lip sync from time to time to do certain sets, and then when you get out of the sets and you sitting down, and she did the song that she did on Poetic Justice. And I love you gave, because she's sitting down with an acoustic guitar, she can sing that. But if she's doing and she's moving around like that, she go you gonna hear that, but they're gonna put but
she not. I never seen Janet Jackson lip sync a whole set.
Yeah,
I never seen that.
Yeah, but I have. I know what lip singing is.
Yeah,
and it's nothing wrong with it. It's just a part of the business. It's not. And she may sing along with the record. I've seen her sing along. You sing along with the record. You have your background dancers, and you support the.
Janet was just in New Orleans.
It happens.
She was just in New Orleans, and Janet's 50-something years old. She was just in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And they got the video up from the Essence Fest.
I'm not saying she lip syncing all records. I'm saying
no. Listen, this is on YouTube right now. This is on YouTube right now.
You don't have to do that, because I looked at
right. Exactly. And if you watch,
saying just particular Janet Jackson.
If you watch it,
hold up. I'm saying that artists lip sync.
Oh, I know artists do it.
Set. I'm not saying that she. We know Rihanna can sing. We know Janet Jackson can perform. Certain artists do this when they.
Mary J. Blige, she don't lip sync.
She don't lip sync, but you got some artists that do in and out of of songs, and when they doing a set in and out of song, you want to have the song clear, but you want to dance at when you're doing medleys, like Rihanna was doing medleys, and she was singing. We know she can sing along with the record.
The bottom line is dancing. You're dealing with the cancel generation. And you also have to
art, bro. I don't care nothing about no cancel generation. We talk about the art in which
because you view things
for what it is in her performance.
Right.
It was a high level performance. Riri dope. Period. Bottom line, she pregnant. A$AP Rocky got another baby together. It is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
the difference is, let me just, for the viewers, let me just explain. I'm a DJ. I've been a rapper, performer, writer, dancer, all that stuff. I've done it all, producer, did it. And so I understand everything that he's saying. But I also, being that I'm a DJ and being that I know how to remove myself from the fan aspect and look at things from what it is, and a lot of this is due to me taking psychology as a minor when I was in college. It taught me to step outside of me and what I see and start putting myself. I learned how to put myself in the viewers of other people. So even with me being a DJ of all genres, from rock, country, I play a lot of stuff. And when people come to me with constructive criticism, I take that and I used to would look at it as a hater, but I started to take constructive criticism and work with myself to make it better. So you have to remove, when you're in a position like me, a DJ, you have to remove yourself from my favorite music. If I play what I wanted at parties, you'll hear some Kanye, you'll hear some Jay-Z, you'll hear some Wale, you'll hear some Drake, a lot of Drake, some Kendrick, I play different songs like that. I mean, that's what I listen to. But when I'm DJing, I have to play what's hot. I have to play Glorilla. I have to play Moneybagg Yo. I have to play Lil Baby. I have to play DaBaby. I like DaBaby, but he get limited play because the people, when I put him on, they kind of walk off now. But I have to play what other people want to hear. So that's how I understand when somebody say black, like when that Dallas movement came out, D-Town Boogie. Man, I was so hooked on that Dallas flow, that Dallas music, the Dougie and all that was off the chain. So when I was DJing my parties, and this youngster came on social media and was like, man, Black, we gonna come to this party, man, but your parties ain't crunk as they used to be. You used to have us rolling on the floor, man. We not in Dallas. This Louisiana. We like the jig, you know. And people started going at this guy. They was, man, shut up, man. That's DJ Black, man. I enjoy the dance, blah, blah, blah. And then I told him, I say, chill out. He just expressing himself. He said, we not from Dallas. I say, you know what? Instead of me taking it as he a hater and all that, I say, you know what? I'm gonna give you an hour jig segment. I said, I'm gonna play my D-Town boogies. I'm gonna play my Dallas. I'm gonna play my Dougies. But I'm gonna give you that little hour and a half. I feel what you're saying. So when a fan or somebody that admire your craft come to you with a complaint, it's not all the time that they're dissing. So I had to learn how to view. Had I not known how to view it from his lens, I would have written him off as a hater, and probably would have stopped letting him in my parties free, wouldn't have tagged him in nothing else. But I understand that. So when a fan say they was disappointed with Rihanna's performance, they're not looking to understand. They're looking to see what they used to see. They want to see what they see. That's just like, okay, let's just say one more before you come in. One more. Like Greg just said. Let's just say we used to seeing Chris Brown acting like Michael Jackson. But let's just say he pulled a hamstring. And at the party, and the concert, he ain't spinning like he used to spin. He ain't jumping up. He ain't being Chris Brown. Okay. As a person who came to see Chris Brown, they really don't care if he got a cold. They really don't care if he just recovered from COVID.
If you're a fan, you're gonna.
But we talking about, okay, let's just say non-fan.
Hold on. We dealing with this, and we gonna get to it.
Non-fan.
When 2 Chainz broke his leg. 2 Chainz put his whole tour or his show with him and Drake. He put it around his broke leg.
Right. They're not expecting 2 Chainz to dance. He can sit down and rap. Chris Brown got to dance.
But the thing is, that's 2 Chainz. He coming out with a broke leg. He's an artist. Oh man, he ain't gonna cry. We can't get live. It was live.
Yeah, because he's not a dancer.
Even if Michael Jackson hurt himself. Michael Jackson hurt himself and was on, I forgot what show it was. He was on the stool. He was singing. Everybody loved it. They didn't know that Michael Jackson hurt himself. But as a fan, you going to understand the circumstance, and they built the song around his injury. That's what they did. Chris Brown hurt himself. We going to understand as fans, oh, okay, then, man, he hurt himself. They gonna build around it. They've done this in show business.
They've done that in show business forever.
Millions of times.
But if they paid their money, let's just say, okay, my son.
Well, if they paid their money, bro, if you're a fan, it happens. The man, a human being.
Right. But let me break it down. Let's just say my son. Let's just say my son into Michael Jackson. Listen, baby, time out.
No, it ain't no time out because you ain't let me finish. You keep
go ahead. Come on.
What I'm telling you, when artists do that, something happened to them, they build a show around what have happened to them. This is what they do.
Right.
Rihanna, they built a show. She did 3 things. She announced that she had that baby. Number 2, she did her Fenty line. Number 3, she saluted Andre Leon, the fashion designer, by wearing his stuff. And people that know her and know what she is, that's why the fans blew up the streams. The fans, she gained 205 million people. 2.5 million followers on IG from the show.
Right.
So evidently 2.5 million of those people like that.
I said the show was dope.
She was having a baby.
Go back to what I said earlier I said the show was dope. The showmanship. Yeah. I'm talking about the people who non-fans. Like, let's just say even the diehard fans.
Why would you even watch a show if you're a non-fan? Why would you watch the show?
I watched a whole bunch of shows I'm not fans of. Man, especially just it's halftime.
You're gonna have
your halftime. Your halftime, and you're there. Okay, but peep this though. Peep this. Then we're gonna move on from this. But peep this.
Go ahead.
My son is a diehard Michael Jackson fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just say he wants to see Michael Jackson spin around, do all the moves that he's been watching on all these videos, all these moves he's been watching. He want to see him do these moves live and in person. I go and buy that ticket. We go and see Michael Jackson, and then they say, well, earlier today during rehearsal, Michael sprung his ankle. My son is still going to be excited that he's seen Mike, but he's going to be like, he didn't do the moonwalk right there on Billie Jean. He didn't do the smooth criminal lean. He didn't do because that's what he wanted to see. So I understand the showmanship and the appreciation because we're on that level.
Yeah.
But when you look dealing with somebody like if my son, he not going to, he understand that Michael Jackson hurt himself. Oh, he hurt his ankle? Yeah. But then at the end of the day, he's going to say, he didn't even do the moonwalk. He didn't even do the lean. He didn't spin around like I wanted him to. He just stood there. He was limited with his movement. So he's going to be disappointed. I understand that.
The choreographing was dope. I like how they
even and what did I say?
Right.
Go back to what I said earlier. I say the dancers and the camera work was dope. I like the performance. Go back to my original post.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. We just bouncing thoughts. Now, Nikita Glass, they've been waiting for 6 years, and they've been waiting for an album. She been dealing with Fenty, and everybody waiting on the album. Even the reporters were saying, "Well, is it gonna be an album?" She said, "It got to be an album now." From doing the show,
but what you're not understanding?
No, it ain't the fact that I'm not understanding.
The public, what you understand, but you're not saying is the public don't give a shit about your personal life. They wanted to see a performance.
They did because the numbers spoke for it, bro. Regardless of, it's always a small minute of people that's gonna have something to say. That's reality.
So minorities don't matter. So do minorities matter or no?
Look, you got the sun out. When the sun's shining, you don't see other stars. The stars out there, but from the numbers and what's said, she did her thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it was for. But that still don't erase the 5 people that didn't like what they saw.
And if the 5 people don't like what they saw, that's on them. But when you look
at the mass, but on the same note, you can't knock those 5. You can't say those 5 are asinine. I enjoyed the performance.
But nobody, you saying that. I'm telling you, the 2.5 million people that she gained, the followers, her sales were up in her streaming. The numbers speak for it that they supported her and they understood that she was pregnant.
Right. So you still had people.
Everybody gonna have no opinion. Now
everybody gonna have opinion. Exactly.
Even if she would have did everything that they wanted her to do, they still was gonna have something to say. She should have won.
Right. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I feel you on that. I just say I understand the ones who was expecting that because when I went to that Prince concert and I love Prince, he was my idol. I had posters everywhere of Prince. And when I went and he didn't do Dance Music Sex Romance, he didn't do Me Baby, he didn't do Let's Work, I kind of felt some type of way. I still enjoyed the concert, but I wanted to see him get nasty. And he was like, he don't do that no more. He wasn't doing it. And I was like, wow, had I known that he wasn't, but he went back later on, like 5 or 10 years later, and he redid those songs and he spent around, he did the split, he got nasty, but he just didn't on the Musicology tour. And that's the one I went to.
And so, then, but her fans and her diehard fans, the ones that understand that, they're not going to say she didn't do good because she did great. It did the whole setup. The setup was dope. The setup, everything
I
she
agree.
did was dope.
I agree. But like I said with the Prince,
it is what it is.
But like I said with Prince, it wasn't that he didn't do a great. It wasn't that he didn't do a great performance. He just didn't do. Listen. I'm telling you from personal experience now. Then we're gonna move on. I'm entitled to my personal opinion. You said yours. I even said her performance was dope. I even said her performance is dope. I'm going by the people who didn't who didn't understand the performance, who wasn't looking, who wasn't trying to be understanding. And then I put myself in that because when I went to the Prince Musicology tour, so when they say that, a lot of times I understand because I have been in their shoes before. She did her thing. She's a sex symbol, like Charlotte said. Yeah. She did good. The numbers were great. I even said the numbers were great. Yeah. But you still had thousands. You still had thousands of people on Twitter saying that the performance was boring and whatever. But they're entitled to their opinion and they don't understand. But I put myself in it. I put myself in it because as much as I love Prince, when he did not get nasty on that stage, I enjoyed the performance. His numbers went up. He sold out of all his CDs, Musicology CDs at the concert. He sold his CDs at the concert. But he didn't do Lil Red Corvette. He did not do Do Me Baby. He did not do Dance Music Sex Romance. And I was like, damn, he didn't do my favorite songs. But I still appreciated the performance because, you know, everything he did was dope. Then the lights went out. Then you hear the guitar playing. And then he popped up.
Yeah, he do. He do.
Really yeah, he popped up out of nowhere, sitting in the middle of the damn stage with a goddamn guitar, singing the songs. I'm like, man, what a electric guitar with my drums, with my bass.
Man,
he didn't do it, but he didn't do none of the stuff I expected him to do.
And I get Nikita's comment. We gonna table it after this. I get Nikita's comment as far as the lens of choreograph. I get what she was saying. I think she said her sister was kind of disappointed in that. I get that because I'm speaking from performance, what we did in shows, how to lay out, the aesthetic of the show, how they did the show, because she done this type of aesthetic of a show in her concerts, walking through that on the air, on the stage and doing that. She's done that in previous shows. So when I saw it, I understood it. So right. I think that's you know what I'm saying, what it is.
But you see what Nikita also said?
Yeah, I said not according to our generation. A lot of people said she didn't do it. I haven't seen that. I just seen and I get that, Nikita, and I respect that. I just haven't seen that. I seen a lot of people say she did great.
Okay, it's on Twitter. I mean, it's on Twitter.
We talking about Associated Press. We talking about Complex.
I mean, they got it. They can't, because if they down her, that's called defamation of character. So they can't. Associated Press can't do that.
Character, they have right to their opinion.
Right.
They don't have right.
But they're not going to disrespect the queen. You can't disrespect the queen.
It ain't being disrespect the queen.
And Charlotte. Oh yeah, me and Renard, Prince. I put out everybody on him. That was my man. That was my. When he died, I think I went 3 days without eating. So yeah, he was. I mean, I'm used to him being nasty. He had a bed on stage with a harp, and he'll get a girl out of the audience, that bed to go down, and he get on there and doing all that freaky stuff. When they had that Musicology tour, that man ain't do none of that. But I appreciate the art. It was a dope concert, one of the top maybe 5 of the concerts I attended. But he didn't do my freaky song, right. You know. And so I was kind of disappointed because of that. But it didn't take anything away from him as a performer or an artist.
Right.
Same thing I feel with Rihanna. I understood they wanted to see skin. They wanted to see twerking. And they didn't get it. And but the 35 plus was like, oh, she got a baby and it was cute. But the 30s and unders was like, man, this is boring as shit. That she need to do something to turn us up. Like when I'm DJing and I play some good music, and they'll come up there and they'll say, hey, Black, you got to turn us up. And then I have to switch the format. You know what I'm saying? So I understood where they was coming from. But like you say, it did what it do because they don't get paid to do those Super Bowls.
No.
I think they may have paid Prince. They may have started out paying them. But certain artists, they don't pay.
No. Like your boy Neo. Neo said he couldn't do the Super Bowl
for free.
Because he gotta pay his people. So he said he couldn't do that. But it was a stage to really showcase who you are,
showcase your talent, get your streams up, get your CDs,
get it on the back end. You'll get it on the back end. So
that's the purpose of the Super Bowl. So Dr. Dre and all them didn't get paid nothing. They went up there, they performed, And then, like I say, their streams went up. Eminem, his album sold another damn near million. 50 Cent's CD sales went back up, and streams went up. So it's the Super Bowl is really to boost what you
It's true.
Boost your talent back up. If they forgot about you, they finna think about you. So that's mainly what it's basically for. And so artists like the Neos and all that, they feel like they don't need that. A lot of them decline the Super Bowl. Right. So yeah, but that's how that is. I understand both sides. And like I said, performance is dope. We understand the baby thing because all us grown. But like she said, her sister generation was like, man, she ain't do nothing. They was bored because they used to seeing that twerking and all them in the clubs, all them ready to turn up. It wasn't a turn up performance. Just like when I DJ'd the alumni. People didn't understand that, hell, I got people in here from the class of 86. I got people in here from the class of 84. I can't just play Lil Boosie and NBA Youngboy and all them all night. I got to play some Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know what I'm saying? I got to play some Run DMC. I got to play some Too Short. I got to play, I got to go back. I got to play some Mary J. Blige. I got to play some Get Her Ready, Get Her Ready, Get Her Ready, Ready for the ones that went to that was in college when those songs were out. So I can't play Boosie and NBA Youngboy all night. I can't. And so I have to tell them until 12:30, I gotta please them. So this ain't a turn up party. If you want to turn up, come in around 12 o'clock. And by 12:15, 12:30, I play all that thugged out gangster up to date stuff y'all want to hear. But till then, you're gonna hear some line dances. You're gonna hear some Earth, Wind, and Fire. You're gonna hear some cameo, what's that? That stepping, you're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear some Beyonce, Before I Let Go. You're gonna hear that. So come, if you ready to turn up, put your hands in the air with your boosters and your NBA Youngboy, come after 12:15. That way the older crowd know to get out of there because they don't want to party with them youngsters no way. But from 10 to 12 or 10 to 12:15, you got to get at it. And it's a diverse crowd. And I have a DJ for all of them. So that's how I felt about that. And what was the other? You already talked about Jay Prince now?
No, I was getting it. You cut it on in to that. But I was dealing with the young guy. They had a clip of the young guy. He was getting ready to jump off the bridge, and the police stopped him and got him and called his family to get him off the bridge. He kind of snug up behind him and pulled him off the bridge. He was getting ready to jump and commit suicide. And I was just speaking on how these youngsters, they taking their life, man, and it's sad that that they don't see no hope. It's sad, man. And I can just remember growing up, man. Capping was a art. You know what I'm saying? Capping was an art, man. And when we talked about each other, man, and did the Jones on each other, man, it was a skill that people had.
I had to remind somebody today. I know how to curse. I can make you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, these youngsters.
I got they used to say my tongue was like a sword, man. I can cut you left and right, both sides, double-edged sword.
These youngsters don't know how to do that. I don't know what happened to break down in life, their life skill that they can't really handle pressure, disappointment, people not liking them.
Social media.
Social media, because it's a larger crowd, but that's not really reality. It's the social media. So it was just a thing, man, that it was sad that the youngster wanted to jump off the bridge, man, and the police got him and talked to him and try to help him. And it say also drug. What's the Georgia Johnson? Yeah, that's true too. And the drugs that they own, the different things, that's real too. And it just said, Nori talked about that today, how he just so put out with the young artists, and he was talking to Reza Islam, and he talked about how he's so put out with the young artists, how arrogant they are, and how the things you tell me, so it's a thing that you know, just with the youngsters, it's just a thing that we have to, you know, had to address. And Reason was like, man, you just talk to the ones that want to listen. You know, the youngsters feel that they know, and a lot of them, you just got to talk to the ones that want to listen, man, and not give up hope on them. You know, because he was speaking for his generation and how he going into, and he was trying to speak to Megan Thee Stallion, and she acted like she was brushing him off, and you know, so it was just crazy, but you know, it was something serious. Also dealing with the Jay Prince. I was going into the Jay Prince thing. You know, him and
now we are sure.
So yeah, the Jay Prince thing, man, and Charleston White has some things to say about it. But him and Offset, they speaking on it, going back and forth with each other. And people trying to, you know, pull Jay Prince into some of that gangster stuff. And he trying to avoid a lot of them because they feel he ain't gonna do nothing, but they really don't know him. And people that I know that know him know he about that, you know, but he don't want to jeopardize and pull it, and he don't play police.
Yeah, he too old to be going to the Fed.
Yeah, he said he don't play police games, so he don't drag himself into that. So what happened was, for those that don't know, is that and Wack 100 has something to say about it, that Jay Prince went on to $1 million worth of game, was talking about Offset and how Offset, you know, he's speaking out of turn, saying trying to speak on Takeoff's death, and he really didn't have a right, because he said that you know, Offset before Takeoff, he wasn't there for Offset, you know, and then, you know, Offset had a response to, you don't know me, nigga, this, that, and the third, and that was my little brother. But then he said that and then Jay Prince responded saying, how you don't know me? How you gonna say you don't know me? You don't know me from a can of paint, but you asked me to protect you moving through Atlanta when they jumped on you in Atlanta. So it's going on about no, in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
He got jumped, and he called Jay Prince to, you know, have him take care of the business.
So he ain't telling all that, huh?
He ain't say all that. And Wack 100 talking about that he dry snitching on that Jay Prince is dry snitching on $1 million worth of game. So they really don't know Jay Prince, and us coming up, we knew who he was, but they feel since he's being more diplomatic than being gangster, he don't understand. You know, they don't understand his reach and his get down. So the younger generation, they have sometimes fail at thinking that the older ones ain't gonna do nothing, but when they reach out and touch them, then it's something different. So
right.
that was
what they're not realizing is that old one didn't get old being stupid, and being a wimp.
Right, and being emotional. So he's not emotional, and he ain't gonna go out jeopardize this, that, and the third, because even Jay Prince Jr. You know, it's some shade. It's not with Jay Prince Jr. We dealing with the death of the jeweler, the brother that was the jeweler, and we dealing with you know, he died around Jay Prince Jr.
Right,
and we got Takeoff that died around Jay Prince Jr. So they trying to throw the dad in the mix, and he's just trying to finesse it the best way he know how, you know, and he trying to stay out the mix. And they saying that Crips ran, you know, Jay Prince out of California, this, that, and the third. So it's a lot of back and forth things and reports that haven't been confirmed, but we just gonna keep an eye on it and keep it moving. And that's real.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what it is, and that was our little take on the news. We kind of got stuck on Riri, but you know, it is what it is. I love Riri.
Right.
You know.
But so what's the topic? What y'all talking about tonight?
We talking about these pretty girls, this pretty privilege. Just to all the ladies that's on this live. That's pretty.
What is single pretty women at?
We want to ask the question. The question, that's what my aunt say, question. Y'all pretty, but y'all single. What is it that you're single, and what you said, when you get a man, you can't keep one though.
They say they can get anybody they want. They can pick any man they want.
But they can pick them. But what's the issue about
keeping them?
What's the issue about keeping them?
That's what we want to know. I mean, we can speculate as men on why they can't keep them. Right. And then that Lori Harvey.
Right.
I don't care what y'all say. She's a hoe.
Lori Harvey.
Yeah. No Lori matter Harvey, the Lori fact Harvey that you get different guys. Sleep with them for a month or so, and then you back with another one. Sleep with him for a month or so, back to another one. That's a hoe. I don't give a damn whether you got money. I don't give a damn your daddy famous, your mama famous. You jumping from man to man, woman to woman. You're a hoe.
Right.
That's
right.
Bottom line. I mean, I don't care how y'all try to dress it. She just getting what she want out of it. The bitch rich. So what she getting out of it? She rich.
Wow.
Honestly, she got money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what's the purpose? Whether she enjoy different sex from different people, you know what I'm saying? It's still a hoe.
Okay.
But you pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And then even we can go back. We can just look at, you're what social media call pretty.
Right.
Look at Kim. Yeah, she was married to Kanye for a while, but since she's been divorced, can't keep a man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but you consider one of the top 20 beautiful women.
And she's been married about four or five times. I know at least 3 or 4 times. I know at least 3 times she has.
Who that?
Kim Kardashian.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was married a couple times, man, and she was crying on how she, how you can't keep a man, and how what is it about her that she can't keep her a man. I don't know what it is, but your physical beauty is cool. That's what attracts a man. But to keep him is what's in the inside. Because a lot of women that I experience that's nice looking, man, they got a lot of issues. Some of them got self-esteem issues. What I found common though that I was surprised is that a lot of them been sexually assaulted. Growing up, uncles didn't mess with them. Fathers, brothers, uncles, cousins didn't mess with them in their lifetime. So a lot of that, yeah, they pretty, but a lot of times they carry a lot of baggage with them. They can get that man, but to really have a stable relationship is something that you have.
Look at Chanel. Most of them,
they have
most of them. I was gonna say that, and the deal, the reason they can't keep them on the cool, the reason I think they can't keep them, is so much that a black man has to do to maintain himself, to be dealing with a woman that has esteem issues. You'll never be enough for her. She's not happy with herself, so it's almost next to impossible for a man to make her happy. A man or a woman cannot make another woman or person happy.
Yeah.
You have to be happy with yourself, and a lot of them not happy with themselves. Like the little what was the 29-year-old that jumped off the building in New York last year? She was a social media
model. I know what you're talking about.
Some youngster jumped in her DM, a few of them, and told her she was getting old. This girl, 28, 29 years old, they told her that she's getting old, and that what she was doing, the personality, the video personalities and TikToks and stuff is a young person's thing, and that she's getting too old. And so she killed herself before she turned 30.
Yeah, I just so I I guess growing up and us watching social media come into being, I I I I I don't see how that affect them so bad when they don't see these people. It's just people talking.
Greg, come
Yeah, it's just people talking. That's right, Charlie. J-Lo too. J-Lo too. J-Lo done been in and out of marriages too. But
yeah, but she's not a Lori Harvey. At least she do go years in relationships.
That's true. That's true.
At least 2 to 3 years, because she was with the Mark Anthony. She was with P. Diddy for a couple of years. She did the Mark Anthony. She did Ben Affleck. But it'd be years, a couple of years. Your other girl, she was with that damn Michael B. Jordan for a couple of months, and then she's screwing somebody else. So that's kind of different. Because you can't make a person, if you marry him or date them for a long period of time, you can't make that person stay true to you. So with her moving around like that, compared to Lori Harvey just wake up one day and say, I don't want to be with you no more. Michael B. Jordan ready to propose. They have her saying she don't want to be with him. So it's a slight difference. Yeah, they have high body counts, different men, but I think J-Lo moves in a more respectful way than the Lori Harvey. Lori Harvey strives on being a hoe and try to preach that. Just like what's that other chick, Brittany
Renner. Now Brittany Renner damn near a case study, because Brittany Renner, she's a gorgeous woman, but she squandered that opportunity by sleeping with all these men and admitting that she slept with all these men, and now she's regretting it, but her actions and what she said is on the internet forever. So when her children her son grow up, she got a baby by who was that basketball player? By a basketball player.
I heard she took him through the ringer.
Yeah, took him through the ringer.
On the bank account.
Now she's on social media crying. You know what I'm saying? She up there crying, and how she can change this. And Andrew Tate is like, man, you're out there. It's nothing. When you put yourself out there, the things you say, the things you do, how your actions are, you going on there twerking, you have naked, you caught, you doing this, you doing that, and she's trying to own up to it. But he was saying that you got to deal with whatever comes with the consequences. So if you're out there twerking and doing your thing, and you got to tell that to your daughters. If you know that you're out there twerking, you on video, because the internet puts stuff out there forever. So once it's out there, period. And there's nothing you can do about that. And then check this out. So now they had a little girl, she regret doing OnlyFans. Now employers can go search. I think on my job, they have a whole team that deal with social media sites. So the employees, they go search and go behind you on your social media to see what you're looking at and see your profile. So a lot of companies, they look at you through your social media, what type of person you are. So now you out there twerking, that can bar you from getting certain jobs. They can
smoking weed on there.
Society and life. The guy you want
to meet, guns.
Yeah, the guy you want to meet. Once that happens, it's over with. And young girls don't really understand that, because they feel they're getting a bag, but the consequences can be damaging permanently. So Brittany Renner, though she's very attractive, she crying because she can't find nobody want to be with her. I think Godfather, aka Kevin Samuels, he hit her before she died. So a lot of men have hit her, a lot of rappers, a lot of athletes didn't hit her.
And who wants that?
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to stand with no quality man wants that. She's pretty enough to be in the private, take her somewhere, hit her, knock her down, and go on about your business.
Because I'm gonna go back to what Anitra Griffin said when she was on here one time as a guest. She said, when she said the man who findeth the wife, you know what I'm saying? She did that spiel.
Yeah.
You say it don't say a woman who finds a man to stick in a picture with her.
Right.
So it's like looks. It's deeper than looks because there's so many beautiful women that's hoes. So many beautiful women that has health issues. So many beautiful women that has psychology issues.
Ain't that something though? Ain't that something that it seems like every female that I've ever met and known, bro, they be sick a lot.
They
be sick. They got
depressed.
Yeah, they
sad. Depressed. They're depressed.
A couple of them told me they wanted to kill themselves, and I'm like, man, why you want to end your life? Because I don't feel like life worth living. But you got these children, and you got this.
No, we just started. We just starting, Cashmere. We just not coming on.
Yeah, we just.
You ain't missed nothing. We just not breaking the ice on it. We here for a minute.
No, Cuzzo be traveling. Cuzzo been all over the country, so don't.
Yeah, I'm just telling him that he ain't missed the episode. We on
it. Cuzzo be all over the country.
And so,
but yeah, that's the thing that I've experienced talking to some
beautiful
women,
and they
don't have nothing to talk about a lot of times. They don't have anything to talk about.
A lot of times, like Chanel said, they have esteem issues.
Right.
And back in the Gap, a pretty woman was just a pretty woman. Right, she knew she was pretty. She knew she had haters. She still had her head up high. She was that cheerleader. She was that star stepper. She didn't care. She knew she was destined to be great because she was beautiful.
Right.
These days, beauty is more like a curse.
Right.
Pretty women go through so much hell, from the guys trying to tear them down to who they want that don't want them. And then, like I say, the average man not gonna put up with all that self-esteem shit. When it's time to go, let's go. When you wake up, if you want to put your makeup on, put it on, let's go. You don't have to be like, how do I look? Am I pretty enough?
Yeah. Chanel, what you disagree with? Put it in the chat for us.
Put it in the chat. If you're not gonna go live, put it in the chat.
Yeah,
because we open. We just giving our opinion. But a lot of men ain't got time for that. Every time they change their hair, the man got to tell them their hair is different and it looks good.
Right.
Every time they get an outfit, how do you like it? And if you say you don't really care for it,
what's his brother name? What brother name? Johnson? What brother name?
Oh, he on some shit tonight.
Pretty women.
He done been drinking that brown. I'm gonna charge his actions tonight because I never heard in a minute.
Yeah.
Greg talk like this. Greg on that brown.
Right.
Greg on that brown right now.
Mm-hmm.
He feeling good right now. He must be.
Yeah.
He must be optimal.
Hey, and the thing, where I work at, you got different nationalities of people, and you got all nationalities. You got Puerto Ricans, you got Pacific Islanders, you got Samoans, you got different people from different parts of the country. So out there, it's a competition. And some of the women, like, you could be pretty in Monroe, and that's Monroe pretty, Bastrop pretty. But when you come to a city like Dallas, you get lost in the sauce. Regardless how pretty you look, you're going to get lost in the sauce being in Dallas.
And that's where the esteem issues come in.
Because it's so much, it's so much of a plethora of nice looking, beautiful women. But when you meet them, they top messed up because they try to compete with the next woman. And they talking to you, but you talking to somebody else, because the cast on the job is one girl on there. She getting ran through by 4 different guys that they all of them know each other.
They don't care.
Beautiful female, but they running through it. And she got her days for them, and she running. My partner, he know everything that's going on, with a spot at. But you have a lot of people that's that's out there, man, that's gorgeous. And then when you see that gorgeous female, it's another one that's better than her. Then it's another one that's better than her. That's it. Yeah.
You'll get caught up.
You can get caught up
if you try to keep up with a beautiful woman because
and you don't love yourself. You gotta love yourself because
there's so many out there, yourself. And like I say on so many podcasts, it's a pretty bitch on every corner now.
Right.
Back in the Gap, that shit was rare.
Right.
They're everywhere now.
That's right.
Everywhere.
Because I'll say a lot of beautiful women, but a lot of beautiful women single because they having options so early in life that featured entertainment, which took away from them to work for themselves. Then once the peak is over, they're in a position to point fingers. Their famous line is, "I'm single by choice." That's real, Cuzzo.
Yeah, he hit it deep.
Yeah, he hit it deep because women have more options in the sexual marketplace than men do. And Brittany Renner went into why is it so different for a man that have a lot of women than a women having a lot of men? Why are women looked down upon having a lot of men and men are celebrated for having a lot of women? Because, and he said that society don't respect things that you can get easy. They respect hard work. And with men, it takes skill. If you're not nice looking, if you're an average looking man and you really don't got women like talking about it, you got to talk up on a woman, a man that got working 3 or 4 women, that's impressive. But when a woman got 3 or 4 men, society look at her as a freak.
Number one,
a man does that, that's impressive because that's a feat.
A man got to work.
A man got to work to get him a female. That's not something that easily happened. And it says the statistic is that 16% of the men make 80% of the children in society. 16% of the men make 80% of the children in society. 50% of men are single and childless. They making good money. They in the middle class, but they single and childless. 40% of our women, black women, they unmarried. The men that they saying there's no good men out there. It's good men out there, but it's not the type of men that they want.
But what they're not understanding
is romanticized.
What women need to understand. Yeah. Number one, we were raised and taught that they the mother of civilization. You know what I'm saying? They the queens. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we had this discussion, but it's their queens. And I always resort to, they say, well, why y'all can go and screw 50 women, and if we screw 20 men, we a hoe. Mm-hmm. And my cousin, he hate when I say this, but my theory and what I'm known for on here is my pole and a hole. Mm-hmm. Scenario.
Right.
The pole stay the same.
Right.
All that pole doing is you drill it down and you hitting it in that hole, that dirt, you digging that dirt to go deeper. You got that pole, you just hitting that dirt and you just digging it down. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. You hitting it down. But as you hitting that hole and you moving that pole around in it, that pole getting deeper and deeper. It's getting wider and wider. In other words, it's getting wore out. Right. So your value goes down. And like my cousin James say, like Austin say, a man will still screw it, but he ain't going to be true to it.
Right.
Meaning, if you're not 100% satisfying him because you wore out, and in the back of his mind, he know all the guys you done slept with, he'll be with you.
Yeah,
but he gonna also, chances are he's gonna cheat and find him somebody with less miles. It's kind of like you want that what's that car you crazy about?
Challenger, the Hellcat.
You want that Challenger,
the Hellcat.
Let's just say you got that Challenger, the Hellcat Challenger, but it's a 2016.
Bruh say most men gay.
You got that 2016. You finally got that 2016 Challenger.
Nah, yeah.
And you
2019.
We'll say 2019, but we're gonna say it got 100 and 59 miles on.
Shit.
Okay. Whoever had it was one owner, and he traveled the world in that motherfucker. Okay. Yeah. So let's just say it's smoking.
Right.
You love that Hellcat. But on the same note, you need a new, you want a newer vehicle. You love, you done bought that Hellcat, but you know you need a newer vehicle. Yeah. So a man will be with, a man will be with a wore-out woman. He'll screw her all day, but chances are he wants something with a few less miles on.
That's true.
And so when he wants that tight feeling, chances are, if he didn't create that hole, if that pole didn't create that hole, chances are he gonna slip. He gonna be looking for something.
And another thing you gotta look at is a lot of men. Some men want a family. A lot of that's in our nature to want to have children, have a family. Say if you want to have a family with a female, and she's been through that, and you can't provide that, and you like this woman, that can be an issue as well. Is that I talked to a lot of, I'm meeting a lot of bros that dealing with women, but they can't, have children, and they want children, and they love this woman. They love the woman, but they want children. And he said, man, I think the relationship he had broke because she forced him to try to adopt. And he said, man, I wasn't gonna do that. He said, imagine you doing that, and then y'all get a divorce, and who gonna take care of the child? Hey. If that happens. So who gonna be responsible for that? If this is something that I wanted for myself is to have a child with you, and that can't happen. So that's a lot. And another issue you gotta look at is when women have a lot of children, not a lot of children, but a lot of partners, is the bonding issue. When you dealing with a lot of men, you done dealt with a lot of men in your life. Sometimes, the sex good. You may got a good guy, and I've been in circles where women say they had good men, the sex just wasn't good. They liked that guy, but the sex just wasn't good.
She said,
and they did a lot of creeping around.
One of the writers said, "There's no such thing as wearing out a vagina. It's a muscle, just like any other use. Just like any other, you use it or you lose it." I slightly have to disagree because K. Michelle even had to get hers reconstructed. Wow. So I've seen some beat up. I've seen them worn out. Yeah. And I've heard guys say, man, they couldn't do nothing with it because she was wore out when they hit her in
it's a lot,
2012. When they hit her in 2012, she was, it was cool. She went on a hoeing spree. When they hit her in 2018, it didn't feel the same.
Right.
And that's why a lot of times a man can kind of tell when another man done hit his vagina. So that grip and everything that she's saying, some women have to use vinegar or whatever, but I think women do reach a wore out, the different sizes that you use can determine, how that vagina is.
Right.
Different sizes. Because she dealing with somebody with a small, mediocre penis. And then somebody step in there, a Mandigo step in there, he gonna hit it a little bit different. And then his stroke
gonna be a problem.
His stroke gonna be different.
It's gonna be a problem because she gonna like that sex, and it's gonna be a problem. And when you dealing with that, sometimes you got some that's important to them is to have some good sex, man. And when you don't have that, it could be a serious problem when you don't have that, man.
But I'm saying the deal is, the bottom line, the way I feel about that is the pole pretty much stay the same.
Yeah.
As far as you dealing with somebody going up and down in you, that pole gonna stay the same.
Yeah.
if you a virgin, let's just go back to the virgins before you got your cherry pop. When you got that cherry pop, your vagina wasn't the same after that. And the more people, let's just say you start having sex with at 13, 15, 16 years old, and you messing with somebody your age.
Right.
Chances are his penis is not going to be as big or long as somebody who you messing with when you in your 20s and 30s and you messing with somebody your age. So that person, whoever you messing with, the vagina kind of adjusts to that penis that it's getting at that particular time. So for women to say it's not the same, oh yeah, it is, because you get deeper, and depending on the size and how you stroke, you can get wider. So, and that's just generics. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to call laws of physics. Mm-hmm. That's that's common sense. So it does get worn out. It can get worn out, but you guys have different techniques. You can take a little while off, use vinegar. I have surgery like K. Michelle did to get it reconstructed.
Right.
You know, so but it can get worn out. I just, happen to, I never had that problem, to knowing whether it's wore out. Right. But yeah, I believe it can be, because it's too many guys that spoke on it for it just to be a theory. So yeah, and like I say, it's just laws of physics.
What'd you say?
Can I ask my question now?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, who is this?
Who is this?
Yeah, I popped in here. Y'all know I'm gonna pop in when I'm watching. It's Fairy went on a ride.
Hey, yeah. You break that down for us, please. How you doing, Miss Fairy? Oh my goodness, she's gonna break this down. No offense, though. I'm just, I just talk. Go ahead, though. Break it down.
No, you're funny. Phantom J, I like what he said, and also somebody in the comments. Once you have so many partners, nobody wants you. That's not the same as being wore out, because honestly, the vagina cannot be wore out. If you don't use it,
you have to show me the facts on that.
If you don't use it, I can. I got a lot. I'm a sexology coach.
Show me that. I need to see that, because I honestly, I want to be corrected on that, because I preach that so much. I need somebody to break it down and say, hey,
babies.
It don't get wore out. But even though,
think about it, you can put your twin-pound baby.
I know women. They have, and the vagina is, when they had that baby, their vagina is not the same as it was when they were 16 years old.
That's because they don't do the things that they need to do to tighten it up. Like a man, when they get soft, they go lift weights to get those arms back strong. The vagina is the same thing.
Okay.
You have to work it to get it. So having sex does not wear out the vagina. If the woman is having sex and gripping correctly, it's actually going to strengthen her grip and tight if she's gripping correctly.
You need to preach that
every time. But my question is, are y'all okay? So in men's mind, if a woman got a lot of mouths, that's a turn off. Is it because of the grip, y'all thinking, or is it just because it was the thought of so many people before you?
Yeah, I think it's the thought of so many people, because like I said, I was blessed, so that don't be an issue.
So how do they expect us? I'm sorry for interrupting, but how do they expect us? Phantom J, you had me on here before. So how do men expect us to accept that fact? Why are we not a hot commodity? Because even if not necessarily had sex with multiple men, but had multiple men in our life, why are we not a commodity when that makes a man a commodity? And I understand you saying about the pole, that doesn't go because it doesn't wear out.
But a lot of women, it does. Okay, it wears out, but the ones who know how to get it back in shape. Just like you say, if you don't go out there and work out, our arms are gonna be flabby. But I hit the gym. And I keep it tight. So that woman that's not keeping it tight falls into the wore out category. The man who don't go to the gym and keep himself fit falls into the flabby category. So he does get flabby, but there is a way he can stop himself from getting flabby. And if you do the research, I'm sure it's over 60% of women, probably 70, that don't do the grip exercises to get that muscle back tight.
Let me say this. With the high body count, also if you dealing with somebody, you run across a man that's a good guy. He want him a family. He want him that. And he tell you, hey, baby, I want to have some children.
What it do, Tanisha? Go ahead.
And you love him. He love you. But in your past, you just say, okay, you didn't have 5 children up to this point in your life. It be it that you were married. Because the point is, some women, they get married, have a lot of children by their husband. But when you're dealing with a woman that have a high body count, you're dealing with an individual that's having problems bonding with you. She's thinking about the last guy she was with. And though she know that you're a good guy, it's hard for them to be in steady relationship from the things that I've experienced and talked to guys with. So when you're dealing with a woman like that, and you walking with this woman like that, and you walking past a guy or guys that had this woman, that's a kind of a hard walk to have. Just like you dealing with a man that really can't support you, and he's broke. He don't work. He's broke. He can't do nothing for you, but he's in your life. And no woman really want a man that don't got nothing, that don't have nothing, don't got nothing going on, and he's broke. That's how it is on our level when you're dealing with a woman that has a high body count. Because if you want to look at yourself as far as building a family, having a family, you want to make sure that you have somebody that you can produce a family with and not bringing in a lot of psychological issues to the equation because of her experience and what she did. Now, I done met females that have high body counts, and a lot of the consistency that I've met, they have psychological issues. They're good people. They have psychological issues. This is no throw on no woman. It's just based on, from my experience, is that they have a lot of psychological issues. They want to be in a relationship, but it's difficult to be in a relationship because a lot of times they compare you to somebody else that they had in the past. So,
that was great.
It's a lot of issues that comes with a woman that have a lot of high body count. Men, they looked at as players because it takes a lot of skill to get y'all and to talk to y'all and be with y'all. I respect a man that can get him 3 and 4 and 5 women because I'm like, how do you do that?
And then and then too,
that you gotta have. To really deal with a woman and dealing with more than one woman, dealing with different emotions, dealing with a woman. How do you do that? So
then it's the opposite. Women like what other women like.
Yeah.
Don't no woman want no man that don't nobody else want. Right. I mean, they looking for him now because they don't want to be cheated on. But women like what other women like.
Yeah.
And men have egos. To answer Ferry's question, men have egos, and majority of men have egos. So the fact that he knows
women,
JoJo, John, and Junebug hit that, he gonna feel some type of way because a man wants something that he can hold his head up and walk in a room and everybody try to holler, but he's the only one that's getting it. Even though we know that everybody done had somebody, we understand that.
Yeah.
But when everybody done had everybody. You done had everybody. That's a different view altogether.
Right.
We understand that you guys gonna
have sex partners.
Have sex before the man you with, but on the same note, we don't want nobody that done been out there, every DJ, every club owner, every rapper, every business owner in the city, you done screwed, and then especially if he's in the entertainment field, every function he go to, you bumping into 3 and 4 people you done screwed. That's not a good feeling to a man that has an ego. So women, women, a lot of women like bragging rights. Yeah, bitch, I got him. You had him, but he with me now. Right. What's that song? He's mine. You love him, but I love him out. I got him. He's mine. Once was yours, but I got him all the time. Women prefer brag
competition. Yeah, that competition.
Men don't too much like that. No. Not quality men don't too much like that. But some of them settle. It depends on the history him and that woman have and what he know about her. And if he been a hoe and she been a hoe, and then they decide, well, we did all our hoeing, let's get together. Them hoes be happy together. But just generally a man ain't walking around looking for no woman that ain't been no hoe. Not no quality man. Quality men don't like that.
So it's safe to say it's more of y'all ego than our bad. Kind of.
I think it's mostly ego. Because let's just say that's why a lot of women, they go off to other cities and other states to get married. Because if you're in a small town, Bastrop, Monroe, the small ass town, it's only so many popular people. There's only so many nice looking people. There's only so many fine people. And if you fall in that category, you're gonna be messed around that little pyramid. And you're gonna have to go somewhere else. Because if let's just say you from Canada, I don't know who you done screwed. All I know is I'm happy screwing you. So I'm gonna be happy in that relationship all day. But if we in the same little small ass population, 8,000, and there's only so many popular people, so many nice looking people, so many fine people, I can't go nowhere with you to no big function, a homecoming, a goddamn big ball or something without you seeing 4 and 5 of your goddamn exes, and some of them you have no closure with. Right, so you're uncomfortable, which making me uncomfortable, and I may see some people I don't have closure with. Now I'm uncomfortable 3 times. It's just not a good feeling. So a quality man that's on his shit, that know his worth, it's an ego. And so it ain't about, it ain't about what you screw, is who you screw.
Oh, so, and what you just said, bro, dealing with the monkey branching, hopping in and out of relationships. You may have had somebody in your life that the guy left you and you were in love with that guy, but you moved on and you're not over the last guy. So you just went to the next guy. And that's happening, is that people you still stuck on Brian, and Brian can come by, Brian gone. So you with this new guy, but you still in love with Brian, but you with this new guy because Brian left you.
As soon as that new guy piss her off,
let's keep it a whole buck. But soon as Brian come back and is available, it's gonna be a problem because she's still in love with Brian. She just got with you because Brian is with somebody else, but Brian having problems with the woman she with, and now you still not over Brian. And if that opportunity presents itself, and that key thing is, oh, that was my ex, Brian. He was a good guy, this, that, and the third. Oh, okay.
The one thing about Brian gonna come back. Brian gonna hit her. Brian gonna come back. Brian gonna hit her a couple of times. Then Brian gonna realize why he left her ass in the first place, or why she left him. She gonna realize that.
But she ended up losing the good guy.
She didn't F over a good man because she didn't have no closure with Brian. Brian came in there, screwed her the maximum of 3 good times, sometimes 2 times. But 3 good times after that 3rd time, and she think it's gonna be a lovey-dovey, we back together. Brian happy with who he with because he know he familiar. He know what he got over there.
Messed over the good guy. Now the good guy gonna make a choice.
I see it too many times.
He gonna simp and take her back, or is he gonna move on and he gonna be brokenhearted? Then he ain't
gonna take her back. A lot of men don't take them back. They just screw them. They become sex partners.
Right.
They talk that we gonna get back together, but they never do.
Right.
They never do. Majority of them. You got a few of them that run back, and then they'll last a good 2-3 years, and then they realize why they left her.
Right. Chanel, hey, how you doing?
Oh,
hey, how you doing?
We got people that wanna they like your views on our page, and I'm thinking they're requesting you next week. I think on a Wednesday, next Wednesday they want you on their page, but I'll give you that. I'll give you that information.
Now let me tell y'all how I disagree with half of the stuff y'all say.
Go ahead.
Let's hear from the
woman-man issue. The same stuff that y'all talk about that women do is the same stuff that men do. Men get heartbroken. Men go back to the woman. Men be out there hoeing. Don't nobody want to see the chick you was with last week, the week before, or whatever. We got the same stuff going on that y'all got going on.
Right.
So I hate this dynamic of the women and the men and we are all people. And when people are hurting, they do dumb shit. Bottom line.
That's true.
They do. Right? Hurt people hurt people. Right. And just like what I was talking about disagreeing with before, I'm a pretty woman. Right. And so, and I have a friend of mine who always says I would have never approached you in college because you're too pretty. And I didn't get that concept, right? Because that's what y'all want, a pretty woman though, right? But there are so many men that are afraid to approach a pretty woman because you feel like you can't get the pretty woman. So I'm not going to try to flirt with her. And then we let the pretty women out here like, but I'm pretty. Why ain't nobody talking to me?
Yeah.
Right? And so it's a double-edged sword there. It's all perception, though, right? Because here in America are pretty well. I'm gonna even go even deeper than that. So, one of y'all talked about being pretty in one space and not in another. I remember in 6th grade, we lived in Victoria, Texas. Majority Hispanic folk, right?
Right.
And I'm in 6th grade. I had no clue I looked good because nobody flirted with me. And I say that now, even in Texas. When I come to Texas, people don't flirt with me in Texas, right? Yeah. We moved from Victoria, Texas, back to New Orleans. I was fine as fuck.
Right.
And I didn't even know what to do with all that information. So, yeah, it is locale. It is, a Hispanic man might not find me attractive, but a black man does, right? If we have been taught and trained that traditionally the white physique, right, is what is acceptable as beauty, right? Then we got a bunch of damn self-esteem issues as black women, right?
But
because every time I turn around, somebody telling me my hair need to be straight, or they're telling me that I should look this way, or I should be at 5'2", I should be 110 pounds, and my body don't work like that. Then I got self-esteem issues. I got stuff going on, especially as a black person. Right?
Yeah, that's real. I just want to add. I want to add to what she was saying that at the job, I be having to check people that try to do slick stuff to black women,
right?
Because I don't care how hard it is dealing with black women. I love black women. I don't care what it is. Mm-hmm. You're not going to disrespect our women because on that job, they're not going to let you disrespect the Puerto Ricans ain't going to let you disrespect their women. The Mexicans,
that's right.
They'll try to do the slick stuff, but then when you check them, they like, well, we can't do it with him. Hold on.
We need to know that our black men got our back.
But
even though we like to deal with it.
Right. To love you as a black woman, to love you, that's something that, because me and Black have we had these discussions. This was this whole podcast that was birthed, me and him having discussions that loving you for just having the experiences, some men loving you, that can be a challenge. They try to go. I know my coworker, he cool dude. The coworker, he deal with Latinos. He deal with white women. Not the fact that he don't like black women, but those are the only women that are approaching.
Right.
Is Latinos, white women, he have success. But you have a lot of, just on the job. I was telling Black, I said, Black, I'm on the job. You speak to our women, they be booted up sometimes. They be mad all the time. And I'm like, bruh, that's been my experience. But to throw you away,
why?
But I understand why. Because even when you said about being too pretty, I know a sister that said that. She said men just don't want to talk to me.
They don't want to talk to me.
If I didn't know you,
and don't be pretty and smart. Oh my God!
But a lot of times, we don't know if you married. Some of y'all to carry as
you marry. But you're not gonna know unless you ask.
You're not gonna know
and so,
unless you ask.
But I told that go back to what I told him when I was in college.
Yeah.
I'm used to being at small town, popular, dancer, DJ, throwing parties and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Even in high school, 16 years old, women approach me, especially like when you come to a small town and you've been in California, Cali, you different swag. The women can approach me. So I never said anything to women because they always approach me in high school and things. But when I went to college, women approached me, but it was this one particular one that used to stare at me. She used to blush, and I used to do the same, but I wouldn't say nothing to her because I'm used to them coming to me.
Coming to you.
Mm-hmm. And so we did this shit, man, like 2 damn semesters, right? Just smiling. And all I had to do is go over to the table and just sit down and say, hey, what's up? What you do? I'm hanging with the alphas, I'm in all the AKA parties. So I'm what it do on campus. Right. So she walked up one day and I seen her sitting with a dude. And so I'm looking like, okay, we can't smile and gaze at each other.
Right.
And so what's going on? So when I caught her by herself, now I got the nerve to say something because I'm disturbed, because I've been telling all my boys, hey man, she digging me, she like me, man. I can get out of
that. Territory was invaded.
I pulled her to the side. I seen her in the cafeteria by herself. I said, now I got the courage. Now I'm sitting down. Whoa, what's up? I was like, hey, I see you with old boy. I've been seeing y'all sitting down, sitting in here. You walking with him in here. Y'all walking to classes together. What's going on? She say, oh yeah, I liked you, but you never said nothing to me.
Never said nothing.
Right. And I said, yeah, but you knew I liked you. She said, yeah, but my grandmama told me if a man wants you, he gonna
man.
You. And I was like, whoa.
We are raised to be approached.
So when she checked me like that, and I couldn't say nothing.
Going after a man, come on, man.
But all the women, all the girls had done that in high school, in junior high. So I figured everybody, it was like that clear across the board. And then when I went to college, it was a few of them saying, hey, my friends say you keep doing how y'all do to my friends say. So I'm thinking everything cool. But this one particular one, she just looked. She would just stare, and I just, she liked me. She like I'm telling all my boys. But then when she finally got on somebody, and she told me, "You never said nothing to me." I said, "But you knew I liked you." She said, "Yeah, but you didn't let me know." My grandmama say, "If a man wants you, he will pursue you." I don't pursue men, boy, and that was a rap. So I preach to Phantom all the time.
Hold up.
When I step in the party, when I go anywhere, when I go anywhere,
now I'm gonna lay it down. Just watch me.
No. I'm just saying. No, I'm saying I'm talking to you. You said we talk about stuff. I'm telling her what we talk about.
No, we're putting
I told her. I tell him when I'm at any function, I go since that date after she told me that. I never had an ugly woman.
Right.
When I step into the party, I'm going after the prettiest one in that joke, and my success rate is high. I'm not gonna just go to the rip rap. I step, and all they can do, and then I preach to the younger folks. I say all you got to do is ask them. It's not like they're gonna pull a gun out, pull a knife out the top of your head. I'll just say, hey, I think you're attractive. I'm interested in you. Say your little spiel, and it is what it is. So I step up to whoever the top one. Everybody's scared to talk to. Oh man, you see her. I said, man, watch this. Watch this. Me and my cousin Austin, the one that be on here that's called Just My Opinion. Just My Opinion. He and I used to put in bets on who gonna get the best girl, who gonna get the most numbers. That's what we used to do. So the confidence level, we never had a low self-esteem issue.
We understand.
You can get her, I can get her. It's the best man win,
Let me go. Let me go.
Self-esteem.
Hey, Ferry, because I'm gonna let you say. Let me expose the cheat sheet about this dude. Facebook. Hey, this boy been getting women since he was in kindergarten. So he been getting women, even little girls in the sandbox. So you talking to a man that was born with that, got the swagger, That's what we're doing right there. That's the cheat sheet. He's been getting it in since he was 5 years old.
Yeah, but they don't understand when I tell them all you got to do is step to them. Just say, come different. You can't say, Fairy right here.
Say that because you hadn't been rejected.
That's what he said. He say that all the man you and him been talking. Y'all been talking. No. But on the cool, Fairy right here, she's intelligent. Fairy, she out of her peers, she's up there. You'll think she's 40 years old because of her mentality.
Maturity, yeah.
You let somebody who she think look good, who she think fine, step up to her and say, "What's happening, shawty?"
Right. She gonna check her.
That ain't her time. That ain't her time.
Cuz. Hey, Cashmere, what you got to say?
Go ahead, Cash.
I pretty much listening. And hey, first and foremost, shout out to y'all podcast. I love it, man. Shout out Phantom J. Shout out DJ Black. Shout out as well, Chanel. What I say, because y'all hit a lot of points, man. I really say this. I kind of wrote it down a lot. One thing I do totally agree with as far as the male level, it is our ego. Ego do rule it. If we feel like we can't match up or whatever it is, we'll stand down. And you know, that's kind of a thing. The next point is why we don't talk like kind of like with pretty chicks. It's kind of like it's just my opinion on it. You know, when I see a pretty chick in my mind, it's like, well, shit, she got a lot of options. You know, when it comes down to pretty chicks, she is kind of picky. She's been through so many phases of dealing with certain type of man that she wants. So it's kind of like, well, shit, my ego, like, well, you know what? If I do get a lot of money, hell, I can pull her. I can kind of show her some new things. If I don't, it's kind of like, well, damn, she might not like me this or that type of way. That goes right back to your ego. It's kind of like, you know, be honest, be real. She's
overanalyzing it.
Right. You know, that's another trait. I want to also go back to what y'all was saying, which is why we don't talk with different races. And then I was also, especially down here in Texas, where it's a combo, where when I look at, this is just me, when I look at a Mexican, Asians, or any other type of things, I go back to like their religion, you know, how they are brought up. A lot of times these Asians or Mexicans, they give birth at early ages, or they're taught differently, where we make fun of them when they pulling out a Honda with 5 different people. But in the mindset, they money is like, okay, cool. We can come in on one house, 5 different households. But at the end of the day, they all graduating with houses.
Right.
It's different on that point.
Right.
My other huge key that I put a star by is the perception on America. We call women hoes and shit like that because they sleeping around with different shit like that. That's the perception. Women can go out there and sleep with anybody that they choose.
Thank you.
We come back and we say, you know what, y'all hoes, because y'all out rocking the boat. That's just a perception. Because when it comes down to a male wise, when I'm in a room with males, oh, I'm knocking out such and such. Oh, you a player. If we flip it on a chick, she hoes and shit like that. But that's false. That's all perception.
Yes, it's the same concept.
A woman can have sex or have fun or do whatever she want to do, same as a male. It shouldn't be a hoe or you just a
double
dirty
standard.
That's just
not wear the badge out.
Right.
That's just when I hear that, I just blow it.
I hate that mentality.
I'm kind of like my mentality is up there.
Right.
My next point of it is stepping out your comfort zone to snatch a lady. That's what y'all was saying, and I give it to you, Black. You do have to go out there. If you get shot down, you get shot down. But the thing about it is, when you go out there and you go to the club or you go to a party or you go to anything and then you step out and you be like, you know what, lady, you are beautiful. You know, I'm attracted to you, whatever it may be. Even if she shoots you down, you say, you know what, shorty, or you know what, gentleman, whatever it may be, you just not the type. Great. But you're going to leave that whatever, you're gonna leave and say, damn, this guy just walked up to me, told me how beautiful I was.
Yeah, you left that impression, and you boosted your ego and your esteem at the same time.
Right. And even if you are shot down, it's kind of it happened to me. So it's kind of like when it happened to me, I was like, you know what? I felt better at it. Like, you know what? Maybe I should have came at it this line or this or that or this way.
And then you prepare yourself for the next
one.
Right. And I felt better at it. It's like, dang, I could have never said nothing to her, and I could have just left this place like, oh, if I would have said something to Shorty, she would have been like, woo. But it helped me out by saying, you know what, and I come through, at least I thought she was beautiful and this and that, you know, and then in her mind, he's like, you know what, this guy just told me how beautiful I was. So she's leaving out with a piece on this and that.
And if she see you again, she's gonna remember you was that guy who said that.
Right. And it's also
too, it's not failure. It's an opportunity to fix a thing, to revamp it, to like. Totally, but it's our mentality of what failure looks like. And it's not. It's our opportunity to do something.
It's working on yourself and motivating your women at the same time.
Exactly, Fairy. And also, too, it's even if she wasn't feeling you, she got a right not to. You might not be her type. Because it goes down, y'all ladies got this height, weight, and all that. And even if it's not, she's going to come back. She come out with her friends, or she might see you again and be like, you know what, that dude's great. He ain't my type, but I think you should talk to him to figure out where he at or what's going on. But it's rare to, you know, connect 2 times in a row. Another thing too is DJ Black, to get back to you, because it was like when you was going through those semesters where you was eyeing a chick, she was eyeing you. Kind of what that is that's universal calling, where it could have been, that could be your mate. Those are soul mates, where you find somebody that likes you and you like them, and you will see it and you don't speak on it, but that chemistry that y'all got, or that what we call that shit, that vibration that y'all experiencing, those are that's universal calling. You get that
vibe, having that vibe,
and it came out of the blue,
right. You experience that within lifetimes. It's sometimes where you get to that red light and you look at that woman, you're like, oh, she's so damn sexy, and she ain't even looking at you, and then when it's that energy you putting out. Then when she look at you, you might switch up. Then you look at, then y'all make that eye contact. Those are universal vibration attractions that happens in life.
Right.
I love this channel, man. I swear.
And that's why when I met the wife, it was similar to what you just said. And and once you lose, I feel like you lost, and I'm one of those that's used to winning. And I was like, and you saw how passionate I was even talking about that. I felt like I actually lost something, you know. So when I found the wife, it was the same type of energy going, and I didn't let it, you know, pass me by.
Right.
With my ego and everything out, you know, I'm not gonna bow down, but on the same note, you only live once, and I've already lost. Like he said, I didn't look at it as a soulmate type thing. I just knew it was a similar feeling that was back then. And I was like, you know what? It may not be it, but I'm going to, you know, pursue it.
Right.
As I look at soulmates, those are universals. You'll run into multiple soulmates within your lifetime if you don't act on it, you know, because that's when people are like, oh, you met your soulmate. No, it don't matter where you at, small county or not. You have multiple soulmates out here in this world, but when you
and even friendships can be soulmates. It's not
even just romantic. They don't have to be for something. I got a question for Fairy, and I need and she always honest, but I'm gonna throw my line in there. I need an honest answer.
Let them know it's honest.
On the cool, do you see like certain females, because like he said, like Cashmere said, I can be taught to see women different, like he's saying, but we've been taught for so long that the prostitute is a hoe. The one that we pull trains on that does them consecutively was labeled a hoe. Because you see certain ones that was wholesome, parents didn't let them go to many places. You know, they was upstanding. They covered up. They didn't show flesh. They wore carnigans. They don't show nothing. Okay, so. Is it safe to say though that even though y'all women, and it's black women, all that, I understand that, but on the cool, is it certain women that y'all see amongst y'all peers, and this is go to both of you all, that y'all say she's a hoe, but I know for sure like she's a hoe. So if there's no such thing as a hoe, those songs wouldn't be out. So my thing is,
perception though. It's a perception.
It's a perception.
But I don't see women. Look, I don't see women. I'm sorry, Farrah. I don't see women who have multiple partners as hoes.
Right.
I see them as human.
What about you, Farrah?
Who enjoy sex, just like men enjoy sex. Sometimes it's a trauma issue and I'm being promiscuous because I've been hurt or sexually abused, or I didn't have the love that I needed growing up. So I'm looking for it in every man, right? And so sometimes it's an inner issue that I'm trying to fulfill through sex. But what you're looking for is connection. That's what you're trying to get is connection. And how close can you be with somebody?
So you hit it from a different standpoint, though. If you're looking for connection, I can understand that better than you just sleeping with any man that spank you on your ass.
That's what it is. But I need you to make that connection. That's exactly what it is.
A lot of these,
when they're sleeping with any man that spanks them on the ass, they want that feeling. They're searching for a feeling. Well, and they don't. Some women don't know how to get it. So no, I don't consider any woman a hoe. I consider them searching for what they need. Whether, and I mean, because you got to think about it. Polyamory is for some people. Polygamy is not. You know, polyamory is for some people. Some women may need that. Some men may need that. They're searching for what they need.
What about that woman that when y'all at the club and she just see a guy walk by, y'all in Dallas, y'all in fucking Houston, and soon as she see him, oh girl, he's so fine, I want to fuck him. That don't make her that you don't say you wouldn't calm her down. You say, girl, go do you, go get your, go get it, girl. So the women don't. Our parents was always on to our. I'm gonna tell you what my mom used to tell my sister. She used to say, because my sister was brown skin, dark skin, and she had long, pretty hair, and a lot of the guys that had already ran through the yellow bones started checking out my sister. Mm-hmm. She'll come home all happy because she was a little cheerleader, and the pretty, light-skinned, beautiful cheerleaders, now those guys who was after them is after my sister now. So she walking around the house, head up in the air, she was all happy, and mama she say, yeah, that same guy who running behind you feel like running behind you, or go out there and screw somebody who black as that street out there, who had this long, and forget about you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So she was teaching her that just because a guy finds you attractive, don't lay down with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Just because they in your face and they saying you pretty. Don't lay down with every man who say you pretty. But you guys say the new way is just fuck. Go out there, just lay down, lay down, put your legs up, and just give it to them.
Let me explain. I don't feel that women are laying down just because they're pretty. They're not laying down just, they can be laying down because they want sex. But when my friend in the club and I know she gonna go home with this man tonight, that man the next night, first off, I know my friend. So I might, I know she may be going through some. I know what she's trying to find. It may not be what I'm trying to find, but I know her, her reasoning behind it. And if I don't, then she's not my friend, or I haven't taken the time to get to know her. Also, women that I don't know, if they are promiscuous out there, that does not mean they're a hoe. Like we said, they're searching for a feeling, whether it's a feeling of love, a feeling of running from what they've been through, the hurt, trying to stay away from it.
So what do we preach to our daughters? Just go out there and just fuck? Just have sex?
It's not a preaching to, first of all. And I have all girls. I have all girls. And I teach my children sexual freedom.
That's
absolute sexual freedom. Right?
And that don't.
Vagina, they can do what they choose to with it. I just teach them how to be careful. And I teach them to protect themselves. But it is their prerogative if they choose to sleep with one, sleep with seven, sleep with men, sleep with women, whatever they choose is their prerogative.
Right.
Because it's their body and it's their choice to do that with. And when they find what they're looking for through trial and error, through going to therapy, through having friends and support, whatever it is they need to heal, when they reach the right vibration, learn how to vibe with themselves, whatever it is, when they reach that healing point, they'll make better decisions. But we've all made jacked up decisions because we are hurting or empty or searching for something.
So
I want to back up what Miss Chanel just said. We all made decisions. So lady that sit and listen to her mama, never had sex. You don't think when she got with her husband, she had all those regrets of, I don't know what to do. He don't like it. Oh my goodness. Am I gripping right? Am I doing it right? Now he's upset because now he got to teach. That's the thing that y'all don't realize. You're not teaching. You're getting a woman, unless you get a virgin, and you probably hit her and go on. Not too many have hit that virgin and married that virgin. You hit that virgin, you go on. You're teaching her. Yeah, the person you're with had to be taught, had to go through those experiences.
That's right.
They don't need sex therapy. You can use sex toys, whatever she chooses, but however she chooses to go through that journey, it's sexual. It's a sexual journey. It's not something you just jump into and you know what you're doing. I don't care if the thing is this tight. You jump in that thing this tight and it's still gonna be bad to you, and you're gonna swear it's woe out because she don't know how to tighten when she needs to tighten. She don't know how to let loose. She's probably letting loose when you want her to tighten. Everybody that you say don't have a good vagina does not mean that their vagina is not working. It just means they don't know how to work it. She don't know how to grip it when it needs to be gripped. She might relax her body, not knowing that she needs a tense down there instead. That doesn't mean that she doesn't maybe get no one to teach her.
Or a woman is tight because she's nervous. It's a muscle. So if I'm nervous and I'm not comfortable, then it's gonna be tight. That don't mean necessarily that it's just like that.
Preach my Chanel, because when you're loosing like that, you want to know we doing? We getting ready to orgasm. It's called bottoming out. We're letting that bottom drop so you can hit what we need you to hit, so we can get what we want. If you notice, every time before the orgasm, it goes loose. Pay attention before her orgasm. Not your orgasm is tight because she's working for you. Her orgasm is loose every time. She don't squeeze during the orgasm. She squeezes after the orgasm because she's trying to stop it. It's a reflex after. And I'm sorry, y'all got moving, shaking. I got my phone in my hand. That's how I keep my glasses. That's how it works.
Farrah, you hit it.
I love Miss Chanel over there. I'm glad she came in here.
Every woman that's still putting vinegar in her vagina, tell her to stop.
No,
stop.
I want to say
don't put anything in your vagina. Water.
Right.
Nothing goes in the vagina.
I agree with you on that. Then you kind of made me go back to my last point I didn't touch on, but you totally right on that. And I honestly felt like when you were speaking, Farrah, on your last point that you was made, I felt like the room got quiet because you was teaching in the moment. And even everybody that's not on, shout out to Robin, everybody that wasn't on, they kind of felt what you were saying as far as the tightening, the squeezing, and then also teaching and stuff like that. As far as what I wanted to say too, a vagina never gets worn out; it only gets adjusted. No. And I say that. And you shouldn't put what y'all call that shit?
Vinegar.
Vinegar. Yeah, you shouldn't put vinegar. No, you shouldn't.
Do none of that.
Everything needs to be straight organic on it, and the closest thing to organic is just strictly water. But it is a muscle. It don't matter how much penetration you do got on it. It's a muscle. A muscle will be stretched out over time. A muscle will go back to muscle memory. So that is that. And I stand with you, ladies. And I know, guys, it's three of us, but I got to go on the ladies' side. There ain't a such thing as a hoe, because no matter as much women that we sex or we make love to, there is a thing that we're pursuing. We're pursuing is what we want to do. So why is we knocking these women? And I ain't trying to be on your side, because I say the same thing when I get off this live. Y'all hoes, y'all ain't shit. But again, it's we got that right of choice. If we want to have sex, we got the right of choice. It don't matter. And I never would knock women.
As long as it's consensual, people.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's not about the name, because being a hoe is not a bad thing. I've met some prostitutes, and when I say they are some lovely people, they just like what they do.
Beautiful.
And when I say they make money, I wish I had the ability to do what they do. I'm gonna be honest. I wish I could do what they do, because
that's what I'm saying. That's why I also say, if I don't know, it's a mental ego thing. So whether we call them hoes, whether we call them sexual queens, it's a male's ego thing. Majority of the men really don't want hoes if they know they are hoes. Just like y'all don't want a man that you know that slept with half of the
Y'all
street.
just don't want everybody else to know y'all got a hoe. Y'all want hoes. Y'all just don't want the other people to know you got.
No, we'll screw them, but we're not gonna marry. We'll screw them, but we're not gonna marry.
You want her to fuck as much as you want her to fuck, and how you want her to fuck. And so that's my issue: is that how can you say, "Oh, I want a girl that's wholesome," but you as a male gonna go out and conquer all these women?
Because, like you said, you learn.
Lady in the sheets and a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. That's what they want.
Yeah.
But she can't be a freak in the sheets if she haven't. I mean,
but like
she hasn't been in the streets to learn how to freak in the sheets.
That's what I was saying. You don't want no virgin. You want somebody who done been there, but you don't want nobody who done screwed everybody in the fucking city.
Y'all got to. You see that? That's why pretty women sing right there. What you just said. You answered your own question. You don't want a virgin, but you don't want her to know too much. If she knows too much, you want to know why she knows too much.
I'm thinking, like I say, being that I was popular in a big fish in a small pond, I just couldn't be. And it was some lovely, educated, dentist, shit. I just couldn't be with him because you slept with John, and John is a lame, so I can't mess with you. You slept with Billy, and he's my cousin's cousin. I can't mess with you because when we go around a family reunion, now he looking at you, you looking at him. I don't know what experience y'all had together. So being from a small town, being popular, I got messed up in the head real bad. So I just can't be with nobody. I mean,
you got messed up in the head.
Like Cashmere said,
the world is not just like you. The world. That's why
I probably missed out on so many because of how I think and who I am. So I couldn't.
But that's not who you have to be, though. We choose who we become, who we are.
I mean, to answer this question that Toss the Asia, I'm sorry if I got your name wrong, but Miss Advance said, she says, so what about the guy who sex a woman consistently but doesn't want to pursue? I kind of think in that first part is consistently having sex consistently, I mean, they just love the sex, but they don't want the commitment of that. And that is tough because having sex with, having sex with somebody that you just love the sex, I think it's just that sex point that we just want. But as far as tying it all together, that's something that we don't want because we can get that whole tie down from a whole different person that's kind of bringing more to the table. Again, what I say is just my opinion. These is not overall.
Well, I tell her that if she wants him to pursue her, she needs to stop giving up the sex.
Exactly, Robin. Ooh. I see Robin has some great points. So I don't know why she's not on here, but yes, exactly, Robin.
The past, like I say, the past.
I follow her.
And we had a podcast about does a person's past matter? And like I say, the only thing with me was the ego. I can't be with somebody.
Let me say this about that. What Robin said. Somebody got an echo. Past, just like bro. Hey, is that you?
Might be me. Let me see.
All right. Dealing with the past is when you know it's what happened before you really is not your business.
Right.
But when you dealing, okay, we having a discussion about getting married. We having a discussion about building a family. And I want to have children with you. Now I got to go through, can I have children? Can you have children? Are we going through the history? When I'm dealing with history, is it medical? Is it psychological? Whatever it is, just like Chanel, when you said that, I know a girl, and this is the truth. Very pretty girl, very, very attractive. And I was telling Black. She had sex with a lot of men. But the reason why she was having sex with a lot of men is because her father was having sex with her from a little girl on up.
Trauma.
And she felt like that's how you express your love to a man.
Exactly.
So she ended up getting HIV. And translated to AIDS. She ended up giving my homeboy the disease. He living with, the medicine that got better. He's still living with it, but she ended up dying because of what had happened to her. I've talked to women, beautiful women. Fathers then laid with them at 9. He said, James, my father was having sex with me until I was 15 years old. Mm-hmm. Right now, that woman is very stoic. She's pretty. She's stoic. She's sharp to men. Talk crazy. Mouth. She got children, but nobody want to marry her because of the trauma that she endured in her life. Now,
I want to address
that bill of understanding that from that lens is something that I
want to address
hold up, bro. Let me finish. That I understand from that lens, it's very important to know what your past is about. So I know what I'm getting myself into. You know what you getting yourself into. But as far as dealing with your who was your boyfriend, who's this, who's that, that's really it's not none of our business. But if a man's deal breaker is that he don't want to have a woman that had a lot of women, a woman that had a lot of men, that's his business. They gotta respect that. If she can't deal with a man that ain't making a certain amount of money, or he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that, that's her prerogative. That's her business. Yeah. But it's about just being honest with each other. And a lot of times,
and I just feel like if you're gonna be in a relationship, and you should be able to be honest with each other and accept each other completely and whole, like wholly. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
I was
if
telling
I care about you, that should not make or break whether I care about you and I want to be with you as a person.
That's right. And just meeting women that's gorgeous, but they've been molested, they've been raped, they've been told that they ugly, and they gorgeous. You see what I'm saying? So I understand that from that level. Sometimes they use sex as a negotiating tool. I want something to eat. I gotta have sex with him to get
learned how to use it as a
bill. I gotta do this. Sometimes they
gotta use what you got to get what you want.
Yeah, some women, like I was telling Black, I know some women that just like sex just to be having sex. They into S&M, sadism. Mm-hmm. They into bondage. That's just their thing. And you gotta and for that point of knowing your past, you got to know if that's something that you into.
Right.
If he's into that, then that may not be your speed.
So
and if that's not your speed,
there are move on. The bottom line. There are cases where the past should be your business.
Yeah, but
and being that, like I say, and the reason I say that is coming from being a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with nobody my cousin has slept with. I don't want to mess with nobody my brother done slept with. I don't want to mess with nobody my co-worker slept with. I don't want to mess with nobody, another producer, another promoter than messed with. So I need to know, hey, you did you fucking? That's your friend, but what's up with your friend? I need to know this, because when you in that industry, people look for any reason to try to find something to down you, to say something negative. So you walking around with your head in the air thinking you got something, and everybody behind your back, man, my cousin them was screwing, man, we used to, so the past with me is the co-workers, the brothers, the cousins, the people that's in my immediate circle. When I bring you around, have you screwed?
Right. So hypothetically, your wife that you with now, of course, we know she's not from around where you're from, but has she been around and messed with somebody and y'all didn't know, y'all are married already, you find out it's your close cousin. She didn't know it was your cousin until y'all go to an event. So now you're married. Is that a deal breaker?
Right.
Divorce papers probably expressed. Can you get them expressed? Divorce papers. Because I can't, especially if they come to
this is the love of your life.
It is what it is.
And that ego will cause you to let her go.
What I told you on the last podcast, my mama told me my ego gonna be the death of me. If she done screwed him and he comes around, no, especially when Farron brought up a set where she said
he liked that now. He's serious.
Farron said that
he gonna stand.
I didn't know until I found that out. I probably wouldn't have the divorce papers expressed, but I just know me. I'm gonna slowly lose interest because every time I lay down with her, I'm thinking about my cousin fucking. My cousin screwed. That's just me. I have a very vivid and strong imagination. So the fact that I know this, I'm going to eventually lose interest. I just know me. I'm sorry. I just know me. So if it don't happen immediately, I'm going to eventually lose interest in her, especially if this person calls me all the time or come around a lot. I'm not going to be wondering what y'all did and if he's at the house, what would you say to him? You know, and I'm not going to put my mental through that. So I'm cool with letting go.
I knew you had a big head, but I didn't know your ego was bigger.
Go ahead, cuz. Go ahead.
I mean, so even if I don't want to just say a wife or put her on Front Street. So even if you do marry a chick and then it comes later out to find out that she did smash one of your cousins, and you know your cousin come up to you. I mean, he like thoroughly respect the relationship, and that's just what it is. Like you've been in love with this woman so long, and in the back of your mind, you thinking about your cousin, and your cousin will say, you know what, it wouldn't really like that. Obviously, it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? You just finna just throw the divorce papers like that and just walk away. You know,
I probably would because I know my mental, and once I lose interest in a woman, she don't turn me on anymore.
Right, I get you.
I can't get up, and I'm not going to be popping pills and putting ice under my balls just to make me have sex with a woman. I'd rather just because I know how to get women. Getting women hasn't ever been an issue to me. So, you know, I feel like I'll eventually have to get out of it if it bothers me. Now, if it's a case where it don't bother me, I'm cool.
Is it the reason just for the simple fact that she had sex with your cousin?
Right.
Could it be is if you went to a whole nother or let's just say shit, you in H-Town or wherever you at, and then you meet a woman that you find attractive that's not in your city or state, and then in the conversation you find out she's a hoe in Washington, but you really love her, but you know that she ain't been touched in Texas, Louisiana, but you
that's different.
Yeah, okay.
That's different. That's why I asked him that question. That's why I phrased it the way I phrased. His wife is not from me. I don't really know. That's why I phrased it for him.
Yes, mainly you ain't fucking with her.
My cousin.
Your cousin.
I'm mad that my cousin hit that too, or my best friend hit that too. I'm gonna have to get out of it. But before I marry, shit, I set the pictures out. Hey man, you see, you know, blah, blah. No man, you know, da. So the people that matter, I already had her information.
Right.
Day she was born, where she was born, I said, she got mad when she found out I did that, but hell, I needs to know. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask this, just on the panel, period. Okay, you married to this, you married, and it's just straight up just infidelity. Ferry, how would you?
And Robin, I know, right? That's why I'm married, because she put up with all my shit for about 5 years, and I'm a motherfucker.
Okay, how would you handle infidelity if you and I were married, cheated on you? How would you handle infidelity? Is that something that you would just sweep under the rug? Since people are just, you know, they expressing themselves. I done cheated on you. We got children. You find out I've been sleeping with this woman. How would you deal with that?
Fair.
So he said, I got an old mind, but I'm still young. Now I'm walking away. I'm walking away.
Why would you walk away?
But it's a sex society.
How you stepped outside? I feel like I can. How you stepped outside?
But it's a sex society.
Robin,
not if we agree to be.
I give off a different kind of love when we together, Robin. Go ahead.
Check this out. So so you and I sitting down together, bam, and we getting ready to get married, or we meeting each other, getting ready to get married. We love each other, and you tell me that I didn't have sex with these many guys, this many guys, and I walk back what I said, what I promised, would that hurt you, or would you understand that? I didn't have sex with you.
Okay, so them two different situations. Because the first one you said married.
With infidelity.
The first one you said married.
With the married part.
That marriage make a difference to me.
Yeah.
Everything we do before we get married.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fly because that was our time frame for that.
That's that old shit.
Okay.
That was our time frame for that before we got married. Now, once we said we're getting married, if we ain't say we getting married and then we gonna flip this one on the side or something like that, and our agreement was to be married to each other and each other only, and we exclusive, I'm not taking it. But up until we get married, no.
And that's why I was saying that's not really your woman and he's not really your man if y'all ain't got that ring on.
What about you?
We trying. We both trying our damnness.
How would you
we getting there.
How would you feel about infidelity?
Give it to me again.
If you and I were together, we were married.
Don't say married.
No, married. If we were together based on how you think and the freedom of the sexual freedom and how you say you teach your children, is that based on, does that apply to the relationship in saying he just gonna go out and go cheat and it's what it is, that because human beings have sex, or is that sexual freedom applied to people that's not married?
Sexual freedom applies to people who have communication.
Okay.
So I believe in communicating with my mate, basically, right? Sexual freedom applies to any and everybody, first of all. Okay.
Right.
But when you're in a relationship, depending on how you define that relationship, if you and I are exclusive, then I expect us to be exclusive.
Right.
If we are in an agreed relationship where you go and do your thing or I go and do my thing.
Very arrogant.
That's the agreement.
I'm in touch with you.
So it depends on what it is that you agree upon.
Right.
What's the arrangement? What's the
contract? So it's about your agreement. Dealing with that individual, it's about the agreement that you have with that individual.
Yeah, what communication
how y'all
gonna
deal with that? Okay.
Right. Because
go ahead, Cuzzo. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You finished? I'm sorry.
I agree.
I was going back to Chanel because maybe I heard it wrong. So you basically saying if you are married and the communication of it is that this guy is a sex monger, I guess, and he steps out on a marriage, you're okay with that because the communication.
No. We have an agreement up front that that's who he is, and I accept that about him, and he says this is what I'm going to do, and I agree to that. Then I agree to that.
Oh, okay.
But if that's not the arrangement that I want to be in, that's not the arrangement I'm going to be in.
I mean, that's facts. But damn, why marry this man if he done gave you that agreement?
Because that's what she wants.
Right.
Just an example.
Right. Just like I said, we get married, we exclusive, but we're not exclusive. If we exclusive and we say we're gonna have outside, then we have to be fine.
I mean, if it was if I was married and then my lady stepped out, granted, it's done. You know. If I stepped out,
if you and your girl talked about it and she told you that that's who she is,
then he was married.
Exactly. That's infidelity.
Right. And if it was
stepping out of infidelity is two different things. Stepping out, what y'all are talking about, that's lying, deceiving, all of that. Now, me saying, okay, I'm a sex, as he said, a whoremonger, and I want to go have a lot of sex. Then, and he agreed to that when he married me. Then 10 years down the road, you can't expect me to stop if I don't want to stop, because 10 years ago you agreed to that. You didn't say 10 years down the road, I expect you to stop, or I'll take this for now and I expect you to stop, because then in that case, I would have been like, deuces.
Right.
Not just like me, not personally, just
something changes or something, and you need to sit down and have that discussion again.
Right. And that's how people peacefully get divorced.
I've told this story. People come to me about their personal lives a lot. I talk to a lot of different people going through a lot of stuff in their relationships, and that's how I know majority of the things I know. This couple decided when they got together, you know, they was monogamous. Everything was they in love. Then they found out, I'm gonna say, right after they got married, and I don't see how this didn't come out before they got married. But she said that the wife came to him and said that she's a nympho. She loves to have sex. And his sex drive wasn't keeping up with hers. And so they decided, she talked him into them sleeping with, you know, her sleeping with another guy, or whatever. They wanted an open relationship.
Right.
So she would slip off, you know, he knew the 1 or 2 or 3 guys she was sleeping with. And then every now and then she'll solicit a woman and they'll go and he'll mess with them too. Mm-hmm. So what happened was the women was like, they like having sex more with the guy by himself instead of being with his wife.
And it flipped on.
So he started sneaking behind her back, sleeping with the women that they had slept with together. He would leave and sleep with them women by themselves, and she eventually found out. So after that happened, she wanted to kind of stop they even came to where I'm at and went to a swingers club, and she enjoyed herself. He didn't enjoy himself. You know, she got a thrill out of it. So now they're divorced. They not together anymore. Mm-hmm. But his he went on and started sleeping with younger women. You know, she had a ready-made family.
Oh, so they ended up getting a divorce.
They finally got a divorce.
Right.
And but he couldn't keep up with a sex drive. And then when she saw he was sneaking behind the back, she wanted to cut it off. Let's just be back together. She wanted the husband and wife thing. But hell, he was so used to sleeping with other women. Hey, you ain't gonna get her? Man, what about her? What about her? She was like, no, we're not doing that anymore. So he started sneaking behind the back and taking money out of their accounts, going off, sleeping with all these different women that they had slept with together. She found all that out, and now they got a divorce. So a lot of people that want to preach this polygamy and these open relationships, listening to the Kevin Gates and all that, you're gonna have to know what you get into when you invite another man or invite another woman. Like a partner of mine,
and the fact of that is, he broke contract.
Yeah.
But how do you break?
He broke the arrangement. He broke the agreement.
How do you break contract?
If there was an issue or problem, he should have sat back at the table and said, "Hey, here's the issue. Now we need to decide what we need to do from this point and go forward."
He was loving the new cat he was getting. He was loving the new cat he was getting. So
what I believe is growth, life and growth. Because as you grow, it don't matter how old you are. What the thing about marriage is, you have to put on a line that this person is not who you married to. This is the person that you are with, or the person that you fell in love with. So when it comes down, due to that same subject, DJ, the girl, they both kind of got in a territory where growth was present, and the lady, the lady kind of felt out that, you know, she wanted this, and then he wanted that. So it was kind of that. One thing that they didn't do was sit back down at the table to re-summarize.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
I didn't think about maybe they opened up that line of communication.
And who knows?
Say, hey, hold up.
They could have changed it.
And instead of going behind her back, he should have probably said, "Hey, Sharon just want me."
Yeah.
So but at first she was agreeing with Sharon at first, because Sharon would call her and say, "Hey, I need to borrow your man tonight. I'm going out of town tomorrow. I need some good sex," and she was cool with it. But he eventually wanted a marriage.
It was the deception.
And let me say this.
It was the deception.
Let me say this. Just being a Muslim, being in Islam, you got some sects that have more than one wife.
Right.
And it's not, polygamy is not a nasty thing. It's not about lust. Mm-mm. If you have the ability to take care of more than one woman, you know, my co-worker's brother has 2 wives, and the children grow up, they know one another, brother and sister. The wives get along. But the core of that is the agreement. He got paper. Yeah, so he got
so we can be politically correct.
So what about the women having multiple men?
Wait, let me just finish what I'm saying.
It's polyamory.
No, it is in polygamy. When you did in a polygamous relationship,
polygamy is not allowed in the U.S.
When you dealing with, but it's not allowed in the U.S. But it's happening. You got the Mormons having more than one wives. You got sister wives.
They have.
You saying more than one wife? Let me hear about more than one husband.
They're not more than one husband. There's more than one. It's a lady that has more than one. She have one husband and more than one man.
But the issue is that you have a man that had more than one wife, and they doing fine, and they didn't raise it really. So it's the core of it, and the thing that I was saying that it's all about your agreement and what you're agreeing to. If you know that this is what this is, and you got to respect everything that comes with it. Now, over a period of time, one of his wives, they just drifted apart, didn't have nothing to do with his wife that he have now because they're good friends. But you know how people grow apart, and that's just what that is. So it's all about your agreement in the relationship that you have, with that individual. But I done seen polygamous
go bad.
No, they're good, and the children grown. They going to college. Some of them playing football. They doing their thing, but you got to know what you're doing when you're in that type of.
Me personally, I love polygamy relationships, not just on the guy's point of view, but I love it for both parties to be financially stable and also, just to.
I guess, and it ain't easy now. It ain't.
No,
easy.
It's not. But I love it. I love it more on the financial side because all parties are able to really come together and have what they really want, but it's always a flip side that I don't like. I only like the financial freedom side of a polygamy relationship.
Yeah. Well, Perry, what you were saying? You added something. I didn't hear because I cut you off. What did you say?
No, I was just correcting y'all that polygamy is not legal in the United States. They can't legally get married over here. So they're only in relationships unless they are outside of the United States.
What about religion?
It's polyamory is what it's called here in the United States, having multiple.
But do they let them do it if it's the religion?
Not even inside the United States. No.
Yeah, they doing it in Utah.
Yeah, actually, Utah is federally is illegal. It's only a knowledge in the state of Utah. Yeah, but federally it's illegal. It's not a legal marriage.
Yeah, they getting married. And they've been successful at it.
But
and a lot of times, but I understand what you're saying.
But yes,
but what about women married?
Is a great option if you have the mentality to be 100% open. They're like we was saying earlier, there are no secrets in a polyamory relationship. Everyone has to be open.
Yeah, it's real now.
There's no stepping outside because of
human emotions. Yeah, because she was saying, you're dealing with it as human emotions. One can get mad. You feel they spending more time than another. One of your children, I think he got about 8 children, 4 between the both of them. One child got to do something. The other child got to do something at the same time. So you got to choose which child you deal with. But in that between the two, so
what if you fall in love with one of them more than you do the other one? And what if one of them get jealous of the other one? Because at the end of the day, you dealing with people with emotions.
Those are good questions. There's a show on Netflix about that, and it actually shows one of the couples dealing with where he actually fell out of love with one of the women. She felt it and moved on. And I'm also in a lot of polygamy groups with my, business. I frequent a lot of different things on Facebook. So I'm in a lot of polygamy groups where the women are in there So there's a thing called unicorning where the single lady goes out and scouts for married couples or even people already in relationships. It's kind of frowned up on, but when most couples do, some couples do go look for the unicorn, but the unicorn falls in love, they fall in love, and then they fall out of love with the unicorn and kicks her out. Now in these polygamy,
so what is define unicorn? Because that couple
groups. Like
that couple that I was telling you about was saying something about a unicorn, and I was lost in a motherfucker. I tried to act like I knew. What the hell is a unicorn? And I'm hoping I know they probably watching. They're gonna try to sue me, but what the hell is a unicorn?
A unicorn is a single lady who basically
becomes a third
frowned upon in the polyamory and polygamy community because they are looked upon as being used by the couple for only sexual reason, because they can be kicked out whenever the couple feels like it.
So she screws both of them. Her purpose is to have sex with both of them.
To have sex with them, hang out with them, do whatever they want her to do, and when they're tired of her, they kick her out.
So she moves in with them. She moves
in with them. If they want her, basically, however they want her. If they want her at her own place, she does that. Basically, it's more of that, what he was talking about, BDSM. That's why it's frowned on by polyamory and polygamy, being a unicorn. But then, like I say, couples.
That's more than polyamory. That's more than polyamory.
So the unicorn is more. The unicorn is more of the ace of spade for the group, but when a group want to kick the unicorn out, they can, which is kind of respectful because
So that's what y'all are explaining in a polyamory relationship. So in a polyamory, it's just like a marriage. There's no such thing as you gonna fall out of love with me and be in love with. That's their jealousy that goes on. Yes. But there's no such thing as all that in polyamory.
Because you understand that person's purpose.
Polyamory don't. It's only dealing with
polyamory is just like love.
It's only dealing in just romantic relationships. It don't have nothing to do with. It's not marriage. Polygamy is when you dealing with individuals that are married. They have more than one wife or a husband. But polyamory is that I'm dealing with her. I'm dealing with two different.
No. Polyamory is because in the United States, marriage is not legal. That's the only reason for polyamory. Polyamory and polygamy is exactly the same, except for one is legal in the United. You can't do it in the United States.
No. We're talking about, when I'm talking about polygamy, I'm talking about in the overall scheme of how Islam is, and it's not practiced in the United States, but it's in practice in other parts of the world, and how is done, and how.
And you're dealing with marriage.
Yeah, of course they
don't marry
their wives back, and of course,
but polyamory is just dealing in a relationship. This is an agreement that we have.
It's people in the United States doing the same thing.
And S&M and dealing with different, or the unicorn thing, and
not necessarily S&M, but love too. Because
I'm saying different aspects.
It's not Islamic, and they can't get married.
Just different aspects of that. So I got you. Copy that.
But so the unicorn is
serves a purpose. You don't fall in love with the unicorn. You just have sex and make her do whatever y'all need her to do in that relationship.
No,
so the woman don't supposed to fall in love.
She's there for too. The unicorn is just there. I mean, she's just.
Man, what if that unicorn stepping in and put it down better than the wife?
Then hey, that's what it is. That's what they asked for.
I don't know, man. That's just. I don't know.
Look, the unicorn is supposed to come through.
That's why I say the unicorn gets the short end of the straw, because
the unicorn trying to get on the roster.
And the husband agreed.
Right, that's right. She's trying to get on the roster. Right?
The unicorn gonna do whatever she can do to get on the roster.
That's right. Because whatever they say go.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they pay her though, right? She get paid.
It depends. Not necessarily. She just not necessarily. No.
She just needs somewhere to stay.
No, you got to look at it like this, DJ.
The dynamic that she's
DJ Black
getting from it.
The unicorn is a free agent trying to get signed.
I like that. I like that.
Okay. And she's gonna do whatever she can do. She's on a 10-day contract, 15-day contract. Whenever the team finna cut her, she gonna get cut. Now, if she can get a 1-year deal, the unicorn is with that. So
she going. And once she is, she gonna keep doing what she do to keep getting them deals.
Right.
Because the team gonna give her some money to eat and the food, the sleep in the warehouse, all that.
Yeah, she doing what they doing. So you gotta think about it. When think about people that married, but they'd always got that one friend with them. But that friend ain't been around all their life. That's a new friend. They done met somewhere, and now you see them with that friend all the time. Think about when you see these people on TV. It's always that one person there. That same person always with them.
Right. Goddamn, that's that lady on that contract deal.
Look, okay, that makes so much sense.
Right. You got to put it in. You got to put it in some sports terms.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. I'm like, okay, I got it now.
I'm sitting there thinking, like, how can I put this in? Okay,
how can I put this?
Perfect.
Exactly. Hey, I'm finna reset the room. We want to thank everybody, man, for coming out. Myself, Phantom J, DJ Black. Want to thank Cuzzo Casimir. Want to thank Chanel. We want to thank Ferry. Ferry, you interesting? We got to bring both of y'all back.
Yeah.
Cuzzo, I know you switch because I know you be all over the country.
Yeah, I do. I'm always traveling, man, and I say this too, Phantom. I love both of y'all, Phantom and DJ. When I'm on, y'all be having some interesting comments and shit. Yeah. And I love it. I'm trying to figure out. I need to. I don't know if this is a group where I can just sign on for the notification so it hit my phone and say, look.
Yeah, I'll let you know what's up. I'll let you know what's up.
Yeah,
but I love this shit.
Send me a friend request.
I like talking to you, man. When I start my podcast, I need you to be on there too.
Friend request.
So I got you, DJ. I'm gonna do it.
We gonna do that most definitely. And Tanisha, yes, he's very arrogant. He's very arrogant. That's what he does. I love him to death. He's arrogant. I tell him that all the time. He ain't worth a damn. But I love him to death, so he do get that arrogant vibe, and I be having to bring him down the side.
But no, I just speak my mind. I say a lot of shit that a lot of people scared to say. I'm gonna speak my mind. And I never had any esteem issues. Actually,
this podcast came out of his arrogance, and that's what we got going on. So we're gonna land this plane. We want to thank everybody for coming out.
Thank everybody.
Comments for coming in. And we're gonna start it. I'm gonna start it with Cashmere. We're gonna do the ladies first. We're gonna start with Chanel, Ferry, Cashmere, Black, and myself. We're gonna get ready to land this plane. So you have any last remarks, Chanel, and thank you for coming on. I love y'all spirit. Got any last comments about the podcast tonight?
Just going back to the original statements that
the pretty girl.
I want people to understand that pretty is a social construct.
Yeah.
Pretty in America is different than pretty somewhere else, and pretty on the outside don't equal nothing of what's on the inside.
That's right.
And so I don't think just because pretty women are single, pretty women that are single could be by choice, could be because nobody flirt with her. It could be a lot of different reasons, but I don't think it's any different than anybody who's not traditionally pretty.
Right.
And remember, it's in the eye of the beholder.
That's it. Ferry.
I think I'm gonna have to leave it off with Chanel said everything because we jumped on here about the same time with the same face. Yeah. I come in with the same thing, and when she went in, I was like, okay, I could just sit back and hush. So I'm gonna leave it off with pretty. It's not a reason that pretty women are single, other than men got that ego and that what they want to see on their tail. Hanging on their jacket.
That's good. Cashmere?
I go back to it. The original topic. I think a lot of beautiful women are single for the simple fact that they thought the grass was greener on the other end, and it wasn't. and they didn't know how to deal with the cards that they was dealt when they had a great opportunity, and they lost a lot of great opportunities, and then they realized that they needed to work on themselves, and they insecurities or securities is just, they're kind of fucked. I'm sorry to be blunt, and they just single at the point, and they don't know what's real, what ain't. They don't know if they being used or if they're not being used. That's just what it is.
Right. That's what's up. Black.
The deal is, like they say, all single people not sad, and all married people not happy. I think a lot of the pretty people think they have more options because people are tugging at them, and there's more options sexually. But if they're looking for a relationship, I think they fall short.
That's what's up.
That's what I think. So, pretty is a gift and a curse. It just depends on how you use it. So, that's my take on it.
That's what's up. Man, we want to thank everybody. I'm just going to give my last remark. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I learned a lot. Chanel, I sent you a friend request to David Muhammad.
All right.
I don't know yours, Barry, but if you, David Muhammad, I need to connect
with everybody in this room.
If we get that, we just get that together. Because I know y'all dealing with therapy and on the sexual side, sexuality. You know, we'll come back with that and deal. You know, because we come up with topics. And we're going to come back with that and kind of get a little bit more.
I deal with everything.
And, you know, so people will enjoy it, you know. And Robin Tappan, thank you for coming. Tanisha, we thank you for coming. We appreciate you. And we thank everybody for coming out, man. And I enjoy myself. I'm Phantom J. That's DJ Black. Black, what we talking about? What we doing?
Yeah, we just spoke on it, man. It is what it is. And Robin, she said she's single because she a hustler and she don't need no distraction. She bought her paper right now.
Girl.
Come on, girl.
Yeah, that's that hustling.
That's that excuse you use after you done seen the other side.
He said, so that's the excuse you use.
Like, I got time for no BS.
Right. Want to thank everybody, man. Next week we're gonna let y'all know what's happening. We're gonna get the notifications out early. I'm gonna get them out Wednesday. He be Black jamming to the close out getting the stuff. So we're gonna get it together.
Appreciate all y'all. Barry, Cornell, Cashmere. We out. Robin, Castasia, we out.
Peace.
Greg, you shout out to Greg Johnson. He was in there deep.
Peace. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Later.
Hey.